What's up, my dudes? A Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year. Redacted, redacted, redacted. If you know, you know. A lot of things are redacted in this world, especially the most important things. Redacted, redacted, redacted. Well, we're not going to discuss that. That's very boring, but it is surprising. Redacted, redacted, redacted. Okay, guys. We didn't do much this week. No anabolic roundtable, no podcast, no nothing. So from one vigorous Q&A to the next. Let's see. We have a small update. Gorilla Mind launches red gummy fish flavor. The one you saw on the Joe Rogan's podcast. Joe Rogan's Experience, obviously, with more plates, more dates. Mr. Derek. So that it has a 10% discount code, Vigorous, if you want to get that new flavor, whether that's Gorilla Mind Energy, Gorilla Mode Nitric in red gummy fish flavor. I haven't tried it myself, but I heard good reviews so far. It will take about 3 weeks to arrive here because, well, shipping to Thailand has a delay. And Modern Aminos has a 30% liquidation sale discount, right, on GLP-1s, GIPs, and glucagon receptor agonists. So that means liraglutide, dulaglutide, semaglutide, tirzepatide, retatrutide, mazdutide, survodutide, and cagrilintide as well, even though that's an amylin receptor agonist. Unfortunately, things are going to be changing in the United States relatively soon regarding gray area peptide websites and compounding pharmacies that prescribe these kinds of peptides. And that means some restrictions are going to be put in place. So Modern Aminos is going to liquidate all of their GLP-1s and similar products. And that will be a 30% discount with code Vigorous up until December 31st, after which they will be removed from the list. But other sources will continue to carry them until they get that letter in the mail like, hey, you want the lawsuit or you want to do a liquidation sale? That's the way it's going to be. So you can read all about that in the link that I did down below. That's a public article. I got that from Paul Barnett, Anabolic Bodybuilding, sent it to me a couple days ago. And he basically said, well, it looks like the party is over. But hey, that's only in the U.S. Right? In the U.S., the party might be over, and there's always going to be companies shipping it in from, warehouses from Turkey or China or Dubai or Singapore or whatever. So it would be advised to stock up a little bit on GLP-1s, as did I, for a different reason, because here in Thailand, they're going to start taxing all of the packages that are coming in. And then they're going to look a little bit more scrutinous in the packages coming from China. And if there's peptides in there, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to have to pay taxes or if I have to get that destroyed, right? So I stocked up. And guys, remember when I tell you to stock up? It's time to stock up. And all the guys that didn't stock up on Masteron and Primo, they're regretting it deeply. So stock up on GLP-1s, Cagrilintide if you like that, Omega-Tide, right? The Chase Irons compounded retatrutide with Cagrilintide together. It's only available on Omega Aminos, and but he's got stocks aplenty. Yeah, so Modern Amino stock will last until the end of the year. And Mega Aminos and the anabolic pharmacists and all of those guys, they will have stocks aplenty until they get a letter in the mail and make the appropriate adjustments. The press article, press release is linked down below in case you're interested in reading that. So those are pretty much the updates. I don't see anybody complain about the audio, so I guess we're good to go. Let's roll the disclaimer, and then it's party time. Alrighty then. Lots of membership questions. Adrian, what's up, bro? Good weekend, Daddy Steve. Really appreciate your knowledge and great information. May I ask you? You can always ask, bro. You're like a VIP. You can always ask. 1, can I use MENT towards the tail end of prep? No, I don't think that's a good idea because the 7-alpha-methyl estradiol promotes water retention. And even though MENT is good for fullness and joint lubrication, maybe not as good as Decadurabolin, but that also brings a lot more water than MENT on a milligram for milligram basis. I think that the only progestogenic 19-OR you can run is Tren and maybe injectable YK11. So I would run MENT in the off-season. The only reason why I ran it right now is because I wasn't going to step on stage or do a photo shoot, and I wanted to stay as lubricated as possible because I wanted to PR day and night, right? Coming at the gym, coming at home, PR left and right. So MENT was part of the cocktail, 150 milligrams per week, but I'll look at my face. Watery as fuck, bro. And the MENT is still in. 50 milligrams last week was 150 milligrams. And the next week is 50 milligrams, and then the MENT is out. And then it's test only. Boring. So I would not recommend it. I would not recommend anybody to use MENT. Maybe take it out like 8 weeks before. Should be enough time for the 7-alpha methyl estradiol, even though it's a little bit metabolism resistant. You know, if you use a good amount of aromatase inhibitors and some calcium deglucarates and dinomethane to help you metabolize and excrete that out of your body, then I don't think you'll be water retentive on the day of your show or photo shoot. And the question 2 is, would the use of propranolol slow down fat loss? Yes. Yes. Any kind of beta blocker, propranolol, nebivolol, or any kind will slow down fat loss because you're lowering your heart rate. And part of the fat loss is coming from heart rate. That's why Clenbuterol works so well, or Ephedrine works so well, because those increase your heart rate. And then even at rest, you're burning fat by the elevated heart rate. So, yeah, propranolol will slow down fat loss. Which means if you like to use it, you might need a couple extra weeks to get shredded, or you need to take it out the last 4 weeks to really get that fat loss going. And then remove the last little bit of stubborn body fat. But if you're not stepping on stage, it's not going to make a difference. Just keep it in for heart health. Let's see. If running ATG alongside Test and Primo, how long can I blast and cruise before I risk permanent infertility? I don't think you'll risk permanent infertility if you blast ATG because you keep your testicles active. So you risk permanent infertility if you blast grams and grams of gear and you don't use ATG. And even then, most guys get their fertility back after blasting without ATG or FSH or any kind of serum in the picture for a decade. They still get their fertility back sufficiently enough to get somebody pregnant. You know, trust me, I talk to all of these guys, and eventually they get the job done, whether that's through IVF or by sheer fucking willpower, brute force, blunt force trauma. They get their partner pregnant, man. Glutathione, 200 milligrams 3 times weekly intramuscular, or 600 milligrams 1 time weekly intravenously. Would they produce similar results? Yeah, I would say so. Just intravenous is a little bit more cumbersome. And intramuscular is, you could do that through self-administration. Now, I would say 600 milligrams 3 times weekly intramuscular is superior over 600 milligrams 1 time per week intravenously. I would go with 1,800 milligrams over the week. 600 milligrams is... it's probably not enough. 1,800 milligrams is the medical dose. Did you ever wonder if the wet bandits were in hell and Kevin was their jailer? Fuck, I'm not catching this reference. Wet bandits. Sorry, Joshua, the reference eludes me. Benjamin, thoughts on combining low-dose Clenbuterol 40 to 60 milligrams or micrograms with 50 milligrams Mirabegron 3 times daily. So that's, let's say, 60 micrograms Clen, 150 Mirabegron, and albuterol-based pre-workout injection of Sobetirome. Is it too much? I think combining albuterol with Clenbuterol is a little bit too much because they both activate the beta-2 adrenergic receptor, and then you have some overlap. But if you were to do, I think if you do like 20 micrograms of Clen in the morning, 1 milligram injectable albuterol pre-workout, and then 50 milligrams Mirabegron 3 times daily, which activates the beta-3 adrenergic receptors and doesn't spill over into the beta-2 or beta-1 receptors, then I think it's okay. But if you do like 2 milligrams albuterol and 60 micrograms of Clen and 150 milligrams Mirabegron, it's a bit much. Yeah. So and keep in mind, albuterol has what, a 4-hour half-life, and Clenbuterol 32 or at least a day. So, and Mirabegron is like 54-hour half-life. So albuterol you could take pre-workout in and out, basically. And if you take your Clenbuterol in the morning at 20 micrograms serving, and you work out later in the day, then obviously the Clen is already a little bit diminished. You got most of your fat loss from the Clen already. And then you get a little boost from the albuterol because you're probably a little bit tired in the middle of the day, end of the day when your workout starts. And well, the Mirabegron isn't really a stimulant, so you just space it out over the day and get additional fast loss through the beta-3 adrenergic receptors. Fastest way you would fix a client's digestion step-by-step plan. I have videos on this. Yeah, we could sit there for an hour, Benjamin. So there's a video called How to Fix Your Digestion After Blasting Gear or Abusing Oral Steroids. Just watch that video. So long story short, fasting, elimination diet, and the food allergy test. That's the easiest way. So you got to fast for a week, bring the inflammation down, remove all of the garbage, learn a little bit of abstinence, get your cravings under control. You fast for 5.5 days, Sunday evening to Saturday morning, and then you have one day you reintroduce foods on a ketogenic diet, so that you're not going to introduce a boatload of fruit and then overshoot and get into this insulin and blood glucose roller coaster where you eat a boatload of carbohydrates. No, just ketogenic foods, right? Eggs, salmon, beef, vegetables, avocado, mixed nuts, etc. And then a Sunday you can introduce a little bit of carbs as your digestion is restored a little bit with 24 hours of meat and vegetables and some healthy fats. And then in the meantime you do a food allergy test, maybe a stool analysis to see how your gut microbiome is. And then you follow an elimination diet, eating only the foods that you should be eating. That's the fastest way. But I have very extensive deep dives on this shit. Give those videos a watch. Is FMD diet a good strategy to reset the FMD? What is the FMD diet? Fucking mother dick diet. FMD. Fasting mimicking diet. Now, if you're not excluding the foods that you shouldn't be eating, then it doesn't matter what. You have to do an elimination diet. It doesn't matter if you do fasting mimicking or the intermittent fasting, blah, 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 blah. You need to eliminate the foods that you shouldn't be eating, and for that you need to do the food allergy test and perhaps a stool analysis to give a little bit of an idea on what you can and can't eat. And then if you want to do a fasting mimicking diet instead of an actual fast, you could, but I think an actual fast is better. Yeah, that's brutal. But it will help you with your cravings and just, reset a little bit. Get in touch with God. Do you need a thyroid PCT or taper off when you're tailing Sobetirome GC1? No, from all the research that I've done, you could stop Sobetirome GC1 cold turkey because it doesn't affect your thyroid stimulating hormone levels, whereas T3 obviously does beyond dosages of 25 micrograms daily. So even if 25 micrograms T3 daily, you might not see a suppression in your thyroid stimulating hormone to the point it's bottomed out. So I took 25 micrograms T3 before bed for a long time last diet, and my TSH was like 1.5. This was pharmaceutical, Abdi Tyromil, the T3 pharmaceutical. So I know it's legit. Got it from Anabolic Pharmacist, code Vigorous, you're welcome. So that was legit. And then my TSH was still in range, so I stopped it one day to the next, introduced growth hormone with T4, and my thyroid conversion picked back up, and my thyroid hormones were the same, and then my TSH was still 1.5. I have a video on this too, how to get off thyroid hormones. Isn't NAD plus degraded in the injectable aminos from modern aminos? Normally NAD comes in amber vials and refrigerated. This one, no. I don't know. I use the injectable NAD plus from modern aminos, not from Somachems or Amino Asylum. But I don't think it's degraded. It looks exactly the same as the NAD plus that I got here from the pharmacy, the compounded NAD plus. And it works just the same. I take 20 milligrams sub-Q every single day with my carnitine. I can mix those together. Carnitine and NAD plus are just small molecules, not amino acids. And amino acids you shouldn't mix, or steroids you shouldn't mix with amino acids. But NAD plus and carnitine together, or glutathione, vitamin C, sure, it's just molecules. No big deal. But yeah, sometimes the NAD plus comes in amber vials and sometimes clear. I mean, I keep everything in my steroid drawer that's darker than an amber vial. So, and when it arrives in the package is dark also. Thoughts on Chase Tesamorelin claims? I'm not aware of what Chase claims about Tesamorelin. That maybe it reduces visceral fat. I mean, there's scientific evidence that it reduces visceral fat, but is that the case for other growth hormone secretagogues? Perhaps. I believe it's only been investigated with Tesamorelin, so you could say that Tesamorelin reduces visceral fat. I mean, just go to PubMed, you can find the studies yourself, but I don't think that the other secretagogues have been investigated in that context. And I'm not sure if growth hormone itself has been investigated in that context, but it wouldn't surprise me if growth hormone reduces visceral fat. I mean, in the end, Tesamorelin increases growth hormone levels, so if Tesamorelin reduces visceral fat, then obviously elevated growth hormone levels, whether that's from growth hormone secretagogues or through subcutaneous administrations reaching supraphysiological levels, should reduce visceral fat as well. I mean, growth hormone releases stored fat, whether that's from adipose tissue or from visceral space. Let's see. Better compared to other secretagogues who have only been studied in that context. Would you try it? No, I don't. I get I get Chinese generics for free, man. Why the fuck would I waste my time with GH secretagogues? I'm 40 years old. I mean, how much growth hormone can I secrete when I can inject 20 IUs of Chinese generics that are high potency, high quality, and raise my serum levels way higher, and not spend an arm and a leg on it? So, growth hormone all day, man. Unless you're young and you can't afford it. But even Tesamorelin and Ipramerelin together is more expensive than Chinese generics. So Chinese generics win from a serum level perspective and from a cost to benefit ratio perspective. So why would you? Yeah, it reduces visceral fat. Well, so does retatrutide. So does fasting. So does caloric restriction. And so you have a boatload of options to choose from. Or injectable glucagon. I'm sure Clenbuterol and Ephedrine and all that shit will reduce visceral fat as well if you're in a caloric diet. Yo, Steve, how's the torque on the Triumph Rocket 3 with that crazy engine? 3,000 RPMs plus, and yeah, my cheeks are here. Shit, man. I mean, it's very comparable to the Yamaha VMAX 1700 cc's. I wrote that this week, but it was a little bit too small, and my calves got stuck on the V4 engine, so it's like I had to put my feet inwards, but I like to put my feet forward, cruiser style, outwards, like antisocial fucking guy. I mean, I smoke my cigars on a motorcycle and kind of cruising around like this. I don't want to sit like forward and then hunched into the machine. That's not my style. So the Yamaha VMAX is off the wish list. I drove it. I had fun. A lot of torque, 200 horsepower. I mean, I had a fucking blast driving that thing for 10 minutes. But I gave it back and said, this is not really my thing. I'm just going to wait for the Ducati XD Evolve. That is also a V4, but that's a cruiser style. And I'm sure that would blast off into the hemisphere as well, even though it's 168 horsepower, not 200. But it does look a lot better being 15 years older. The Yamaha VMAX is from 2011, the second hand that was available here. And the Ducati is from 2025. I'm test driving it next week. But the Triumph Rocket 3, Jesus Christ, man. It's so fucking powerful. That thing just wants to lift off. So you can really, this is the motorbike, the BMW, and then the BMW R1250 RT. And the Triumph Rocket 3 R with forward pegs, forward foot controls, man, you really have to respect it because otherwise you're in the stratosphere. I might get a supercharger on it. I might just fucking ECU flash it and put a supercharger on it. The lead time is like 20 weeks, so I don't know. I ordered some mods from Germany and UK. So I'll put those on when those arrive in about two months. You know how slow it goes. And then I'll see if I want to supercharge it. But, yeah. That Rocket 3 I'm very happy with. Yeah, that's an insane machine. Know a chemist from work who can remove the 7-alpha-methyl group from Anavar and add an ester to make real injectable, but only if there's demand for it. You create demand, man. If you're a chemist and you can make that shit, just fucking do it and create the demand. So tell them to shut the fuck up and make 100 grams and then send out a couple samples to people who can brew that shit and do the marketing for him. And he's sitting on a gold mine. If there's a demand for it, of course there's a demand for injectable Anavar. What are you talking about? Come on, get busy. A wise man, much larger than myself, once said, Tren isn't the answer, Tren is the question and the answer. Tren has got what plants crave. Tren's got electrolytes, baby. This one I do get. That's yeah, that one. That's Brando. Brando branded as Trenbolone. Was it Americano? No, not Americano. Fuck. What was this movie called? I forgot what the movie was called. Anyway, but I do know where the reference is from. That's the fucking Tren brain. I'm bad with names. but I'm good with references. Mike, been on TRT Plus for about a year. Always struggled with estradiol, but never any symptoms. Usually ranges from 50 to 90 picograms per milliliter. Jesus Christ. Do I need to get this down or just watch for symptoms? No gyno or soreness. I would control it because, the water retention could be an issue. But if you have no real symptoms, then it's not as urgent as you think. Then again, gyno can just manifest overnight. That sucks. You leave it at 90 picograms per milliliter for a year, and then you wake up with gyno, and now you have a $5,000 to $7,000 bill waiting for you, or $3,000 if you come to Thailand. Man, who has seen it, the Rotterdam Plaza fucking Instagram or Facebook post where I'm sitting there with my face all full and chunky, throwing up the thumbs up. Yeah, I'm going to get gyno surgery and liposuction. Yay! So, how many of you guys have seen those posts? I'm sure it's many. So yeah, if you have side effects, I would try to get that down, but I feel it's better to keep it around 50 picograms per milliliter. And for that, you can use the DHT derivative if you can find it, or aromacin, or calcium dichloride and diethylmethane, or metformin, or Cialis. I mean, there's so many options out there to keep your estrogen under control. I have deep dives on this as well. What other symptoms to watch out for? We discussed this with Kurt and Dean. Dean mentioned that high estradiol can lubricate your stool by promoting too much bile acid excretion, but then your stool is very, very, very watery. So you'll see, if you have like constant like little shits, diarrhea, could be high estrogen. But it's better to do blood work to confirm that than throwing the aromatase inhibitors at it. Poor libido, acne, gyno, obviously, water retention, emotional disturbances, and long-term like prostate cancer or breast cancer. Yeah, it can happen in men also. And when starting growth hormone, using generics, what would be a good starting place? 2 IUs, yes, or maybe more. 220 pounds, hypothyroid and hypogonadal naturally, so obviously some sort of pituitary issue. Yeah, so if you're hypothyroid, then supplement with thyroid hormones as well. And if you're hypogonadal, you supplement with testosterone as well. So I would supplement with everything in your case, all the bioidentical hormones. So you start with 2 IUs, build your way up every 2 weeks with 1 IU if needed. But if you're on TRT, you probably top out at 2 to 3 IUs, and any more than that is just a waste of money. There's no synergy for additional muscle gain. Hypertrophy Wizard Steve, is fasting insulin a legit tool for addressing nutrient partitioning on cycle, or not very useful compared to real-world feedback? I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, obviously, fasting insulin levels has to do with your carbohydrate metabolism, but if you're fasted, you haven't had any carbohydrates for 8 to 10 hours, so it shouldn't affect your fasting insulin levels anymore. Fasting insulin levels are low because there's no glucose dump coming from the liver, and your insulin sensitivity is high, meaning that your glycogen stores are not 100% saturated. If your fasting insulin levels are high in the morning, means you're just full as a house. You're eating too many carbohydrates and not doing enough activity to facilitate those carbohydrates. So nutrient partitioning is only part of the process. And nutrient partitioning is, absorption, digestion, metabolism, obviously, conversion, and not only carbohydrates, but amino acids and fats as well. So it's a very poor indicator of that. You would need thyroid hormones, hemoglobin A1C, albumin and globulin are a little bit related to that. You could look at your lipids, and obviously how you're growing and recovering. I think that's a much better indicator of nutrient partitioning than your fasting insulin levels. Bro, I think I just crashed the rooftop party because all the drinks have been free. It may be time to initiate Operation Fish Fingers. I just discussed with this guy at the gym, what's worse, fish fingers or tobacco fingers the night after? So you go out to a cigar lounge, right? And then the next day you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you do the fucking tongue scraping, you're all done, but you forget to wash your fingers. And then the next day you wake up and you smell the fucking tobacco in your fingers, like, bleh. So I said, well, it could be a fish fingers also. You brought home a 10. It turns out to be a 6 because you were so drunk. And then you smell your fingers like, I don't remember eating tuna last night. So, hey, but you know what to say, right? Better have 2 pussies in the hand than 10 in the sky. So, right? Get your tuna sandwiches going, bro. It's like a double tuna sandwich. Yeah, sandwich is shit. So you're the bread, and you got tuna on the outside. If you know, you know, man. You got two hands, and one junk. You could glaze it all the way, all over your body. But luckily in Thailand, all the girls shower, so they don't stink. Thank God for that. Can you take L-Carnitine and SLU-332 together? Yes. Come on, man. You know this shit. They go very well together, right? SLU-332 enhances mitochondrial function and fat oxidation, and L-Carnitine facilitates the shuttling of medium and long-chain triglycerides into the mitochondria for fat burning, which is now heightened by the SLU-332. So, yes. What's up, my dudes? What's up? Happy Saturday, Vigorous Steve. I was wondering if there's any legit reason to run HG like 250 hours 2 times weekly on a cycle, not TRT dosing, like 500 tests, 300 EQ, 150 NPP. That sounds a little bit too low. I would do 250 IUs 3 times per week. That seems to be the lowest maintenance dose that's effective. Now, obviously, in the scientific evidence, it would be a little bit lower. I think I calculated that from the every other day. It was like 125 IUs, and then 3 times a week was like 150 IUs, something like that, or around 200 IUs. But in practical application with the boatload of steroids in the picture, I would do 250 IUs 2 times or 3 times weekly, up to 500 IUs 3 times weekly. With HCG, a little bit more is better, and the potency and the bioavailability and the quality of the HCG that's available now, thank you, Biden, it's his fault. Labeling under his administration, HCG was labeled as a biological. All the letters went out to the peptide websites. That's why all the peptide websites don't have HCG in stock anymore, because, oh, it's a biological. You can't sell it on the peptide website. And fuck you and fucking American government. Fucking cunts. With your fucking rules and your fucking bullshit, trying to force that down the throat of everybody else in the world. Right? Go fuck yourself. HCG is now low quality, low potency, and only Ovitrol, Merck Ovitrol, recombinant HCG is actually good, which is hard to source now. So you have to do it with your urine purified HCG Pregnil or some of the other generic HCGs that are urine purified with 82 to 97% potency, or some sort of Chinese generics with unknown potency. So, Chinese generics, growth hormone, other peptides, great. HCG, not so good. 500 IUs, man, cover your bases. Get those big testicles knocking on the door. Fucking, you want like flaps, or you want that, 500 IUs. I'm trying Cagrilintide with my Reddit this week, not seeing much more, if any, added hunger suppression, 0.5 milligrams Cagrilintide, 1 milligram Redditide per day. Up the dose, or do some people just not respond? Yeah, some people just don't respond to Cagrilintide. I took 0.5 milligram 3 times per week, and I was so lethargic. That I started eating more to get some sort of energy, which didn't really help. You can't out-eat the Cagrilintide. So I was nauseous and full. And the appetite suppression was there, but because I was so tired, so lethargic, I was like, fuck. I felt horrible, so I took it out. Cagrilintide is not for me, so I'm a responder, but not in a good sense. And dude, if you're already on 1 milligram Redditide per day and Cagrilintide is not doing any additional hunger suppression, then do what I do. Switch to 1 milligram tirzepatide per day, and your hunger will be so suppressed. Yeah, man, I need the glucagon benefits. It's marginal. Most of the benefits that come from these kinds of medications are coming from caloric restriction, because your appetite is so blunted, and the glucagon is just a cherry on top. I mean, the percentage of the Redditide which activates the glucagon receptor compared to glucagon is marginal, right? Just, what was it, 15%, 17%? You know, even at 7 milligrams per week, you get, 1 milligram comparable. So if you go with 1 milligram Eli Lilly hypo kits with injectable glucagon, you get a much better result. Or you do a ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting or actual fasting with a boatload of glucagon secretion, you get much better results. So you can just take glucagon and tirzepatide or intermittent fasting and tirzepatide, and I probably get better results and better appetite suppression on a milligram for milligram basis. I don't think it's necessary to go beyond 7 milligrams Redditide per day, per week. So switch to tirzepatide and see how you get appetite suppression there. Would Mirabegron stack with Reddit? Are you guys new to the channel? Have you guys not watched the video? Yes. Guys, come on, man. Do a little bit of research yourself instead of whoring up the fucking chat with basic questions that you should know the fucking answer to. Come on, man. I just put in an order for 1 gram of Retta. Okay, there you go. This guy gets it. Stocked up. Set for 2026. Good morning, Steve. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you very much. Likewise, Fernando. Merry Christmas to you too, you filthy animal. Hope to everyone watching like the video, you bums. Liking costs too much effort, man. Super chatting is easier and puts more money in my pocket. So super chats, yes, like, whatever the fuck you want, man. Just like, don't like, doesn't matter. Super chats, make Daddy Steve happy. Put it in the Cheesecake Fund. Why daily MOTS-c and SLU if NPK signaling persists transcriptionally? What's the upside of daily peri-workout? Jesus Christ. You're trying to sound smart? We take it every day because the half-life is short. It's that simple. MOTS-c 4 hours, SLU 4 hours, give or take. And you want continuous fat loss, continuous energy. So it has nothing to do with AMP, mTOR, blah, 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 blah. You sound like a guy that's like 150 pounds. Knows all the scientific terms, but has nothing to show for it. Just because you super chat doesn't mean don't get to roast you, bro. Dude, I take MOTS-c twice per day, SLU 4 times per day when I took it, and I'm probably bigger than you. Okay, I also take steroids, but I also train harder than you, and I've been doing it a lot longer, and I don't worry about this shit. Inject your drugs, shut the fuck up, and go to work. Never thought Trump would. That's what every president, man. You never thought they would, and they still do it. Trump RX. Trump RX. Lock down the gains by taking away the competition. Fear-mongering on the cryptocurrency and the stock exchange, bring the prices down so all your friends can buy back in at lower prices, and then let it fly. Let it fly. Rate cuts, changes, and then create some more FOMO. Let everybody sell first. Create some more FOMO. Bring the prices down. And this is the most market manipulation I've ever seen. We don't know how to party in the United States. Normal peptide fun. Yeah, I think it will be okay, man. I mean, N-acetylcysteine was supposedly taken off the market, and then everybody stocked up, and then nothing happened. Right? HCG had a little bit of a ban, and okay, the quality is down, but people can still get it. If you're resourceful, if you have some money to your name, you can always get the peptides you want. And otherwise, do what I did. You unregister, you get a passport somewhere else if you need to, like your Americans have to pay taxes wherever the fuck they are. But if you don't like what the government is doing, just stop paying taxes and defund their drama. So, yeah, but it's easier said than done. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done. I mean, they try to lock you in, man. Capital gains for the next 5 years, you got to pay us out. So you find a way, man. If you don't like what the government is doing to you, you feel that they're treating you like a child and creating a police state for you, you unregister. You'll start paying taxes somewhere else in a country that does love and respect you. Well, like I did. I did that 20 years ago. I saw the decline and knowing that the party was over in Holland 20 years ago. So I fucked off. And I started paying taxes somewhere else. And my life is 10 times better. Right? And all the drama in Europe and, the civil war that's coming over there in Europe, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. They did that to themselves. And the same thing will happen in the U.S. They did it to themselves. And the people who complain should have unregistered and stopped paying taxes so they defund the government. And then at one point they go bankrupt. And then they're forced to change. Frog Blast. Diagnosis with ankylosing spondylitis. I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor. Guys, we've gone through this 100 times. I'm not a doctor. It doesn't matter if you super chat me $20 or $100 or $1,000. I don't know what that is and how to help you. So please, guys, regarding performance-enhancing drugs, sure. Regarding medical issues, I don't know. Go to the gym and consult with a specialist. Heavy Reset. Hey, Steve, no question this week. Just introducing the new username, formerly Buddy to Zeus. All right. Known now as not one of those losers that doesn't hit the like button. Okay. What happened to the old account? Did you get did I ban you on the Body to Zeus, and that's why you had to go to a heavy reset? Or you're the artist formerly known as Body Buddha to Zeus? Anyway, welcome back to the Vigorous crew. Good to have you. Home Alone. Was that from Home Alone? Oh, yeah, the Wet Bandits. We're in hell and Kevin was their jailer. That does make a lot of sense. Yeah. It was very comedic hell, though. I will say that. Home Alone. Should go watch that movie again. Home Alone 1 and 2. The best Christmas movie ever. And Gremlins. I think Gremlins 1 and 2 are better Christmas movies. We're already 30 minutes behind. All right, guys. Okay, to the drug questions. On 3.3 to 5 IUs Chinese GH a night, is there any harm in adding a little bit T4 since it does downregulate TSH? No, I think that's a good idea. Or would it be better just to wait until blood work in 6 weeks? I mean, on 5 IUs Chinese generics, I would add in 50 micrograms to 100 micrograms T4 because growth hormone, whether it's Chinese generics or pharmaceutical, or growth hormone secretagogues for that matter, if you're young enough and secrete hard enough, then thyroid conversion speeds up because growth hormone promotes the conversion of T4 into T3, and your thyroid gland might not be able to get it to keep up. And at first T3 levels go up and TSH levels goes down, and you're like, oh, I'm good. And then T4 levels deplete, T3 levels deplete, and then TSH levels go sky high to the point that you might suspect Hashimoto's disease, right, or another thyroid issue. And then you're like, what the hell's going on? I have metabolic damage. No. The growth hormone converted all of the T4 that you produced into T3, depleted T3 because there's no more T4 to convert. And now TSH is like, oh shit, my thyroid hormones are zero. I gotta, stimulate the thyroid gland into producing more, but it gets converted so fast that levels are still low, and for that we supplement. So yeah, if you're going growth hormone, anything over 2 IUs, I would supplement with a little bit of T4. Bioidentical hormones in the correct ratios give the best results. A little bit of testosterone, a little bit of growth hormone, a little bit of thyroid hormones, T4, and T3 later on if you need it. But we do blood work many a time to prove that you actually need it. I think I need testosterone. Really, buddy? What makes you say that? Yeah, I'm tired. I am tired too. And I'm on testosterone. I'm still fucking tired, bro. I'm tired, bro, of the cryptocurrency market, of the government and the society, but that has nothing to do with my testosterone levels, right? Yeah, I need growth hormone for recovery, so why don't you eat a little bit more protein? And I think I have metabolic damage. Okay, prove it with blood work, right? I mean, it's the same shit. Go to Merrick Health. Do your blood work there. They have excellent panels and people to help you determine what's going wrong if you can't piece it together yourself. Steve, I'm going on a date tonight with a French au pair from Toulon. Au pair means babysitter, basically. Can I get some tips on how to bag a Frenchie coming from somebody with a European mind? So from my experience, nice shirt, by the way. Nice shirt. Excellent choice. You got a baby in your hand, so you're banging a Frenchie? What's going on? Single dad life? Let's see. So French women are notorious for not shaving their armpits. Just like Japanese women are notorious for not shaving their crotch. So make sure you have some disposable razors. And if you do see the hint of hair, just give the ultimatum. You use the disposable razor or you get the fuck out of my house. Or unless you're into that kind of shit, You say it nicely, obviously. Said, hey, I think I could fuck you harder if you didn't have armpit hair. And the rest is up to you, man. The rest is up to you. I mean, French women, they like wine. So loosen them up a little bit, get some red wine. I only drink white wine. Beat it. Now I don't feel like fucking you anymore. Anyway, take it easy, dude. Enjoy yourself. Started my cruise 2 days ago for blood work. I took out 10 milligrams Tren, acetate, and 50 milligrams Mastron propionate daily. Only running 43 milligrams test E daily now. Lost all my vascularity and lose watery as fuck. Yeah, welcome to the club, man. I mean, you're on a high dose cycle. You go to a cruise. Of course, you're not going to look the same. It's part of the game. And Mastron might have been suppressing your estrogen level. So in 43 tests, how much is that per week? 43 times 7, 300 tests per week. You might need an aromatase inhibitor. So go do your blood work 4 weeks into that change. And you started your cruise 2 days ago, so you took out the Tren and Mastron 2 days ago, and you already look watery and lost vascularity. I find that hard to believe. I think you're obsessing about your appearance a little bit too much, man. I took like the Tren out a while ago and the Deca out a while ago, and I look exactly the same. It's been weeks that I'm tapering down, and I look exactly the same. Chill the fuck out, man. But go do your blood work 4 weeks into that change. Then the Tren and Mastron is pretty much out of your system. Your estradiol levels should be stabilized, and then you can see how much of an aromatase inhibitor you need. DRT for 3 years, 225 milligrams a week, everyday injections. Testosterone, 1,200 to 1,400 milligrams, or 9 grams per deciliter. Estradiol, 55 to 60 picograms per milliliter. Hematocrit, 50 to 52%. Always added 25 milligrams aromasin per week. Estradiol went to 17, total test 1,800. Hematocrit went to 54.4, hydrated. Aromasin, the cause. Well, it could be the cause that your estrogen dropped and your total testosterone came up, because you prevent the conversion of testosterone into estradiol, and thus, logically, testosterone might go up as estrogen goes down. Now, hematocrit coming up that much, I think, is unlikely due to aromasin, because hematocrit changing might take like 2 months. So I don't think you're sufficiently hydrated, or there's such a long time in between your hematocrit, 50 to 52%, and then you've been on this protocol for a while, allowing your hematocrit to come up. But it would take like 2 to 3 months for hematocrit to make a significant change like this. You have to check your red blood cell count, your serum iron levels, your ferritin levels, or we need to see your total picture. Maybe total testosterone caused sleep apnea, which is undiagnosed, and thus your hematocrit came up because you're basically, not snoring, but choking all night. Right, you're hypoxic, and then your body is compensating by producing more red blood cells. So I would need to know more for to give an accurate advice. But for now, I would say drop the aromasin by half, so 6.25 milligrams twice a week, Monday, Friday, and then your estrogen should come up to about 25, 30. Total testosterone should come down, and then hematocrit, I mean, yeah, there's more going on than just testosterone changing. When using GH, how long should I wait for the final meal for administration before bed? I usually have about an hour and a half after dinner before bed. Yeah, that's fine, man. If you're active, it's not a big deal. I have my eggs before bed, and then I do my growth hormone shot afterwards, and I don't think about it. But I do daily fasted cardio. I get about 5,000 to 10,000 steps. I walk in between sets sometimes. I'm a very physically active man. That's why my legs are small, but my upper body is big, so that's okay. Bang my wife a couple times a week. Play with my cats a couple times a week. Ride a lot of motorbikes. I'm very physically active, so I'm not worried about it. But if you're a sedentary, lazy piece of shit, then yeah, you can't have any carbs with your dinner, man. You have to wait like 2 hours, check your blood glucose levels postprandially, and worry and stress and like, oh, should I take this growth hormone? I've been a bad boy. I've been very, very lazy today, and I might get diabetes, Dude, if you're active, you don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, but the scientific evidence. Do you identify with the subjects in the scientific evidence? Are you a dwarf? Are you a manlet that eats carbs all day? If you identify as a manlet that eats carbs all day, then hey, yeah, maybe it might happen. Random Vigorous approved Tren cycle. Holy shit, results were great, but my mind was mush and paranoid. Good times. All right, well, that's why I'm off the Tren also. It works until it doesn't. Question already answered. Okay, that's good. That's good. From mechanobiology perspective, good controlled penile vacuum stress, as in Bathmate, plus localized BPC TB500 enhanced tissue remodeling for length and girth. I have an article on my website about this. So yes, the whole article includes DHT cream, localized TB500 BPC injections, and the Cialis to stimulate blood flow, and using a Bathmate a couple times a week. So read that article, and all your answers or all your questions will be answered. But the answer is yes, it works great. You can gain more than an inch of length and girth. Will your wife be happy? Maybe. My wife is not happy, so I she's like, this is not fun at all. Onisan tayo. You get the two little hands of your fucking lower abs. They're reaching back like, no. Yamete. Actually, my wife's not Japanese, but you guys know what I mean. Yeah, so it was too boku. So I stopped. But I had a good starting point, right? I didn't come from, I wasn't born with bad manlet genetics. Not phenomenal, but, average. But I gained more than an inch length and girth on this protocol that I laid out on the website. So go for it, dude. You just have to keep it up, because once you stop doing the TB500 BPC and the DHT cream and the Cialis and the growth hormone and the Bathmate protocol, then it just untrains, and just like skeletal muscle, it just comes back to its normal state. So you got to keep it up. But literally, you got to keep it up. That's a fucked up thing about a Bathmate, right? You got to look at porn, but you can't fucking touch your own dick to kind of keep it hard, So that's the most important and most annoying thing. So that the porn gets more obscure as your dopamine receptors desensitize. Yeah, lots of anal. Do it for a month. Read that article. Do it for a month, and then come back happy. Yeah, but desensitized. Because I know I didn't like using that machine. It's just cumbersome, For injectable glutathione, recommended weekly intake for 190 pounds male, 180 to 300 milligrams steroids typically, and 130-pound female who's interested for the health benefits. I would say anywhere between 1,200 milligrams to 1,800 milligrams. Yeah, 1,800 milligrams for a male and maybe 1,200 milligrams for a female. My wife did 1,800 milligrams just the same as I did, and it really made her skin glow. Women are vain as fuck, so, they really care about their appearance. So just do the same dose. For men, it doesn't really matter, right? You just want the health benefits, but if you want the topical benefits, then, 1,800 milligrams is the way to go, man. Yeah. Intramuscularity sucks for women, though, because she's 130 pounds. That's what, 60 kilos. And, the volume, the injection volume for her compared to you is like almost twice the size. All right? Her glutes are tiny, just a handful, whereas your glutes are like 2 handsful per side, and then that takes the 4 milliliters a lot easier than her glutes. Or you do IV. Idiocracy, yeah, that's the movie. Yeah, thanks for catching that. The name eluded me. What's up? Welcome to the Vigorous crew, bro. One last question. Do you see any issues using Cagrilintide cortisol blocker and 20 to 50 milligrams Tren together, being both effectively lowering cortisol in some way? So Trenbolone blocks the glucocorticoid receptors, and the cortisol blocker lowers cortisol levels by preventing the, the metabolism of corticosterone into cortisol and lowering cortisol levels with adaptogens like ashwagandha root extract and that kind of stuff. So I take the cortisol blocker twice per week on leg days, 2 capsules, and that works quite well, because leg days is a stressful event for me. I'm sure cortisol levels would be higher compared to chest day or back day. That's reasonably easy, not so strenuous. But leg days, twice a week, Tuesday, Friday, yeah, I take the cortisol blocker. And then I also took Tren, and then, 150 milligrams per week, and 150 milligrams of MENT, and 600 DECA, and 600 test, and 210 milligrams of YK11. And that worked pretty well, man. Yeah, that worked pretty well. Now I take the training volume down a little bit, or the training intensity, so I go down an increment. So instead of 7 plates, for example, I do 6 plates, arbitrary exercise. So I go down a notch, and that means the training isn't as violent. And on leg day, I don't think I need a cortisol blocker because cortisol levels will not be that elevated from training that's not that intense. Because training is not that intense because I'm not taking enough steroids to recover from it because I continue to diet. Because I do want to get a little bit leaner, but I think I'm just throwing in the towel of the cycle. I think it's time to come off. Blood work parameters aren't great. Or it's just time to come off. I need to do some organ imaging again. I usually do that in January. So, right, you cycle these drugs in or out, and if your intensity is high and you're taking some Tren and you're just training like a mountain of weight every single workout, then in your most strenuous workouts, you maybe take a cortisol blocker 2 or 3 times a week. I don't think you need to take it every single day, but just on days that were quote unquote high stress and high cortisol environment, and that's usually leg days. Does SS31 or MOTS-c have any utility towards a growth off-season phase, or should they be saved for fat loss phases? So yeah, there might be some AMPK interference or mTOR interference, but on the other hand, you get a lot more energy, which should overcome any downregulatory effect regarding your protein synthesis. So I think they have their place in a growth off-season phase. I would not do a high-dose SLU-332. Some people report that IGF-1 levels go down. I've seen some blood work on it now. My IGF-1 levels were pretty much the same, but I've seen some blood work where IGF-1 came down substantially to like 80 milligrams per deciliter on 200 to 400 milligrams SLU-332, or below 100 milligrams per deciliter on IGF-1. And of course, you need IGF-1 for recovery and growth. Now, during a cutting phase, you're not going to grow that much, and you're usually on more gear and more growth hormone, so that has a little bit of a compensatory effect. But yeah, during the off season, you would your growth potential to be as high as possible. For that, you need IGF-1. You can inject IGF-1 or take more growth hormone. But I do feel that it's better just to reduce the dose of SLU-332, not burn through all of the carbohydrates that you're eating, so you're not forced to eat so much food to compensate for all this metabolic fire that you're having now. And then maybe you reduce the dose of MOTS-c and SS31 as well. Like during the off season, you have plenty of energy coming from food. You're eating a boatload of carbohydrates. And the reason why we take SS31, MOTS-c, and SLU, et cetera, during a cutting phase is because there's not a boatload of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are very easily utilized for ATP synthesis. But if there's not a lot of carbohydrates and ATP synthesis is diminished, usually you take more steroids, and you train harder, thus you have more oxidative stress. And to compensate for the lack of carbohydrates, the lack of energy that's coming in, you take more mitochondrial peptides to keep you going as a stimulant or a pick-me-up or a beneficial ingredient regarding the synergy in your fat loss phase by promoting lipolysis, or not lipolysis, but promoting fatty acid oxidation, right? Clenbuterol, ephedrine, growth hormone, that's lipolysis. SS31, MOTS-c, and SLU, that's fatty acid oxidation. So if you take both or all, then a one-way street to fat loss, baby. Sorry for the question spam, Mr. Last Q&A. Have some cheesecake. There you go. Thank you so much. $20 is more than enough cheesecake for me and my wife. Much appreciated. GH, every other day versus every day. Less bloat, same weekly dose. Pros, cons. Every other day means a higher dose on the days that you take it, and less potential for loss of insulin sensitivity or full-blown insulin resistance while the growth hormone is in your system. Because you have a compensatory day in between where free-form fatty acids are not elevated, and thus insulin sensitivity technically is higher. If you do it like 2 or 3 times per week, you have less bloat because there's less of a, compounding effect of the water retention. So I only take growth hormone on leg days twice a week, 10 IUs, 20 IUs, depending on the intensity of the leg day. Also suppresses cortisol, by the way. So that helps with the Gorilla Mode's cortisol blocker or Gorilla cortisol blocker. I take it twice a week because I don't like the water retention anymore and the lethargy. I'm lethargic the day after leg day anyway. So whether I take growth hormone or not, I'm a little bit unproductive the day after leg day, a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. So I might as well take growth hormone and maximize the recovery. And that gave me a lot less water retention than taking the same dose. So instead of 20 IUs per week, you would take, 3 IUs daily? 20 divided by, 20 divided by 7. Yeah, 3 IUs daily. 3 IUs daily would give me more water retention than 10 IUs 2 times weekly. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Regarding the previous growth hormone comment, I've been on tier T or more since July 2024. Started thyroid replacement this February. Only just thought to address growth hormone too. I'll use 2 IUs. I'll bear 2 IUs in mind and more when using more steroids. Okay. All right. Thanks for the update. Hey, coach, suspected slow comped gene. Waiting data for 23andMe. I thought 23andMe is bankrupt. Didn't everybody leave there? Is there anything aside from what was discussed with Dean to help mitigate anxiety symptoms? Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. No, I'm not really familiar with that gene. And I can't remember what Dean discussed, so I'm sorry. I don't know. I would ask Dean. Maybe he has some answers, like I have experts on the podcast that might have more expertise in a particular subject than I do. That's why I get Dean and Kurt on, so we have a good discussion going. I can actually learn something for a change instead of just teaching, But I don't know, man. Anxiety, you have to pinpoint what's causing it. And if it's the comp gene, then I would discuss that with Dean. I'm not familiar with how to resolve that. I'm sorry. Usually anxiety that I'm familiar with is by manipulating your injection frequency, going from 3 times a week injections and having high androgen influx to daily subcutaneous injections in the morning, or reducing your caffeine, or helping with some adaptogens, some ashwagandha root extract, some saffron extract, and maybe some GABA or some 5-HTP, to kind of bring your anxiety levels down, or gabapentin or phenibut if necessary. So, but with the gene, I'm not really sure, man. It's not in my expertise. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas. Thank you for your generous time. I hope Santa brings you that supercharger and tuner. Will creatine give you any fullness benefits of already using EQ, DECA, Primo, GH? Yeah, creatine will help with ATP stores, right? So I added in the creatine, and I got a little bit of fullness. I got maybe 1 extra rep on certain exercises, usually in the beginning. Then later in the workout, you still feel a little bit depleted, and you're like, wanted to get 6, but I only got 4 because I overshot the weight, because I thought I was stronger than I actually am. But my ATP levels are kind of depleted, and I'm dieting, and mitochondrial peptides makes you burn through all that things faster. But yeah, creatine can't hurt, man. I take 10 grams per day post-workout because I get a little bit bloated in the stomach from the creatine. To just take regular creatine monohydrate in my post-workout shake with some essential amino acids and some collagen and glutamine. So I take that post-workout, 10 grams, and give me fullness in my stomach. But then the next day I'm a little bit fuller regarding muscle tissue, and then you get a better pump and better contraction, and obviously 1 or 2 more reps on the first couple of exercises on that set, of the workout, which should technically give you more hypertrophy. Now, I will say that adding in the creatine did not make me any bigger, but it did give me more reps. So in the net bigger picture, is it worth the bloated stomach? From a workout perspective, yes. From a cosmetic appearance perspective, I would say no. But that's me. I never really responded well to creatine, but Derek at Gorilla Mind sent me a tub, so I'm running it. It's in the house, so might as well use it. And so far, so good. Does peanut butter cause fat face? Yeah, so anecdotally, taking peanut butter before bed while you're prepping keeps the face full. So you would think from my face that I would eat peanut butter every night. Like, look at my face. It's full as a house. It's not like Regan Grimes full. Regan Grimes got some cheeks on him, right? It's like butt cheeks or face cheeks. He's got a full face, even when he's shredded. And then this is the bad part, right? I mean, no fat. Where's the fat? Where is water here? There's no fat in here, dude. What the fuck? Look at the face. It's not cool, man. I think it's hereditary, because I remember when I was like dieting hard and just your stomach is empty, and then as your stomach growls and screams for food, your face just gets more sunken in. And I think the red just because you're never really hungry. Right? You feel you have some cravings sometimes due to your blood sugar levels, but you're never really hungry. You're just mostly just full and satisfied. And then once in a while, towards the end of the week, like now it's Saturday, right? And it's been 6 days of, hardcore restrictive dieting. And then tomorrow I'm going to cheat. And today it's like, I wouldn't mind eating a couple Oreos. Double stuff, eh? And then you tear off the sides and you create the double stuffed sandwich. Oh, man. Oh, give me type 2. But yeah, so peanut butter, anecdotally, I would recommend that to a lot of female bikini competitors because they would use a little bit of Clenbuterol and growth hormone, especially the older ones with a couple preps. With my wife, for example, with a couple preps, she was natural on the day of the show, but whatever happened during contest prep, who knows? Anyway, her face would get a little bit lean and emaciated, and then in the end, I would just give her peanut butter to keep the face full, and then the face would not get any leaner, but the rest of the body did. So, yeah, it's a total bro science, but hey, if it worked. One prep, she carb loaded or shit loaded on hers. Bacon, it's like potato chips from her. Let me see. Potato chips. It's like super chemical. Bacon barbecue, something like this. Baby back ribs. Anyway. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, that's not the one. I found the website. Wait a minute. I'm going to link it down below. Potato chips. See more. Damn, I have a lot. None of these are in Thailand. Cheese snacks, other snacks. Man, they have too much shit here. Anyway, it's called Hers, Herrs. She would have 2 bags every Sunday and wake up leaner and fuller the next day. So we didn't change that for 13 weeks. And then she won the Asian Championships. She looked amazing. And then we tried it. The next prep didn't work. So I have no idea why it worked and why it only worked once. But she must have ate like 50 of those bags. Yeah, hers potato chips, bacon something flavor. Cheese snacks, let me see. Cheese curls, no. Jalapeno poppers. Oh yeah, the jalapeno poppers she took also. Yeah, man, those are so tasty. So chemical also. See all. Oh yeah, buffalo blue cheese. That's the one. I'll link it down below. Oh man, good times. So dude, we would fucking destroy like buffalo blue cheese and jalapeno poppers, and there was another flavor, some barbecue shit. I don't see it here. Anyway, yeah. Where is it? It's too much selection. Anyway, she would destroy that like bags at a time every weekend, and then won the Asian Championships. So what did you do for carb loading? Hers fucking jalapeno poppers, baby. If it works, man. No, but the scientific evidence. Fuck the science, dude. If it works, it works. If I get SLU-332 in bulk powders, is 40 to 100 milligram capsules 2 times daily a good dose? Can I use SS31, MOTS-c, and SLU together on a cut? Yes. Yeah, I would start with maybe 20 milligrams and then build your way up. Like, you know, some people report good results at 20 milligrams or 100 milligrams or 400 milligrams. The reason why I went up to 400 milligrams is because I'm crazy and I wanted to see what the fuss was all about. So I went up to 400 milligrams. I believe that some people get great results off 20 or 100 milligrams. So start low, build your way up, as usual, and see what dose gives you the best fat loss. For the amount of money you're spending, because it's not cheap, and it could set you back a couple dollars per day. And if you're spending a couple dollars per day, it might be better to disperse those couple of dollars among your MOTS-c, SLU, SS31, growth hormone, steroid cycle, and just get the synergy instead of hammering one single compound. Just for me, it's all free, you know, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The health matters, obviously. That's why I do blood work every single month. I spend money on blood work. I don't spend money on gym memberships or PEDs. People say, come train in my gym. It's fine. You know? Steve, you want these drugs? And all the affiliates, they keep sending me shit. And I'm trying to run through my stock, but it never finishes. It's always gets topped off. So I have SLU powder here. I have fucking peptides out of my ass. It's primo for days. The only thing I don't have is Increlex. I ran out. And that I have to pay for. Yeah. I still have to pay for. Even though I don't pay what everybody else is paying, I still have to pay for that. So I'm off the Increlex, guys. Great results, though. Well worth the money. I would still pay double for the Increlex. Yeah. The pumps, the fullness, the fucking contraction. I mean, that's one of the most exciting compounds besides MENT that I've tried the last couple of years. And SLU, yeah. SLU, Increlex, and MENT. Vigorous Steve approved. Yeah, double thumbs up. Well, the topic of growth hormone. Should one take growth hormone only on an empty stomach? No, guys, no. Come on, man. This has been debunked. Well, we're not going to waste time on this. I just discussed it. Hey, Steve, I have ephedrine albuterol in hand, cutting for 3 more weeks. How should I spread the dose? Currently on 25 milligrams E and 25 milligrams E and then 4 milligrams A. Oh, okay, so 25 milligrams ephedrine, and again later in the afternoon, and then 4 milligrams albuterol. That's oral albuterol, I'm assuming, not injectable. Is Cagrilintide still used for better receptor sensitivity? Could be, but I feel that ephedrine and albuterol doesn't really downregulate their beta-2 adrenergic receptors as much as Clenbuterol. I don't think that Cagrilintide is required in this cycle. Could try it. Could try like 2 weeks on this protocol, assuming it's all oral and not injectable ephedrine and injectable albuterol. 4 milligrams injectable albuterol. Fuck, man. My heart would explode. 2 milligrams maximum. 1 milligram is better. 2 milligrams is a little bit like, too much. Too beaucoup. So let's say you add in 1 milligram Cagrilintide before bed, then I would split the dose to 12.5 milligrams ephedrine twice per day and 2 milligrams albuterol or salbutamol. Because otherwise the receptor sensitivity will make this feel like double the dose. So half the dose, so it feels the exact same. Because I remember going from 120 micrograms Clen and then 120 micrograms Clen plus 1 milligram Cagrilintide, and the next day my heart felt like it was going to blow the fuck up. So I dropped down to 60 micrograms, took a day off, dropped down to 60 micrograms, and then it was okay again. And then I ran my way back up to 120 micrograms, but that was back in the good old days when we didn't know any better. We didn't understand mitochondrial function. $20, just a little something for the Christmas Cheesecake Fund coach. Thanks for all that you do. Much appreciated. So that's, $50 for the Cheesecake Fund. Tomorrow I will go watch Avatar. Avatar 3. I will not be sober. I'll leave it up to your imagination. And I don't think I'll be eating cheesecake tomorrow, but I will destroy some popcorn. I will be destroying some popcorn, man. How long is Avatar? Avatar 3 duration. 3 hours and 17 minutes. And usually within 1 hour it gets good, so I'm going to dose about 3 hours before. Oh, and then the last 2 hours is going to be epic. If you see me tomorrow, just leave me alone. Just let me be. Just let me be in peace. Hey, Steve, what do you think about MK? Not right now, bro. Yeah, so tomorrow will be no cheesecake, but there will be plenty of popcorn. And first we're going to go to some nice Italian restaurants because my wife was sick of the sushi, sick of the beef, and sick of the Vietnamese food. I said, babe, what do you want then? Yeah, I want Italian. I said, okay. Happy wife, happy life, man. So we're gonna go eat some Italian. I'm gonna stuff her face, and then I'm gonna stuff her ass. Later in the evening, after digestion, obviously, after I'm properly digested. You wanted Italian, huh? Well, I'll show you some Italian. And we lost monetization. I was always against motorcycles because of the danger. Now found out about a Triumph Bonneville bobber. Fell in love and getting it right away with 30K customers. 30K? Jesus Christ. You can buy a whole new motorcycle for that. Best advice for new bikers. Figure out the friction zone. Yeah, drive slowly. Drive slowly. You never have right of way, and just imagine that everybody on the road is trying to kill you. It's that simple. When you'll probably start following some guys on Instagram, and you'll see all these bikers. They're angry and they start smashing mirrors. Yes, I had right of way, and you're cutting me off, dude. Everybody on the road is trying to kill you. It doesn't matter which country you drive. Whether it's in the Western world or the outside world, most people are used to cars. They're not used to motorcycles. Here in Asia, people are a little bit more used to motorcycles because about 50% of the road traffic is motorcycles. So people are a little bit more careful, but they will still cut you off. You're lane splitting, they will still cut you off. So if you're lane splitting, you go in between the cars, not so fast. Give yourself like 2 seconds, 3 seconds to pass a car and keep your hand on that fucking brake. You know, keep your hand on the clutch, keep your hand on the brake because you're going to be needing it. Figure out the friction zone. Gear 1 and 2, baby. That's how you use traffic. And if there's no traffic, only go fast in the middle lane. If there's 3 lanes, stick in the middle. And there might be a U-turn coming from the right or the left. There might be somebody coming out or crossing the street that didn't see you because you're going fast. So literally everything is trying to kill you. And you have to drive accordingly. Very, very, very defensive. And that's how you stay safe. That's how you stay safe, man. Hand on the clutch, hand on the brake. Fuck. Jesus. All right. And 30K customization is a lot, man. Buy more motorbikes. I bought the Triumph Rocket 3, and then I spent 3K in customizations, a couple OEM parts that I wanted to change, and then 2K in customizations. And then obviously if I put the supercharger on there, it's like 9,000 pounds. But I just want to see how it drives with the customizations first, and then I can always do the supercharger later. Like the Ducati XD Evolve will be $50,000, you know, after I'm done with it. Because that's new. Like a Triumph Rocket 3, it's been around for 5 years, so you can buy secondhand for half price. And have the same fun as you would have on the Triumph Rocket 3 Storm. Oh, it has 2 more horsepower and 4 nanometers of torque. Whoop-de-fucking-do. For double the price? When you can get it for half price? What's the point? So you get it for half price, and you plus a secondhand motorcycle you can tear up a little bit more because it's secondhand. The engine is already warmed up. You know, this is a little bit more broken in than a new motorcycle. Like when I got the BMW, you have to let it go through 10 heat cycles before you push it to the limit. You know, so you have to do like 10 trips, and then you're kind of cruising around, get the engine a little bit warmed up, you know, the exhausts, go through a couple of heat cycles, and then you can rip it. So I asked the guy from Ducati, said, hey, has this bike been properly broken in? Like, does it have like 100 miles on it, or 200 miles, or 200 kilometers? Because if I'm going to spend 50K on a new motorcycle, I want to fucking tear the new asshole in the first test drive. So he's like, yeah, don't worry, Steve. You can push it to the limits. We'll go to the airport. Don't worry. So we'll test drive that baby. And then you get the modifications from the factory, so the customizations that they offer from Triumph or Ducati or BMW, and then you look for aftermarket parts. So Bonneville Bobber, it's a little too small for me. Aftermarket. Yeah, there's a lot of aftermarket parts, man. So newratecycles.com would have a lot of parts, and JacquelineHyde.com for exhausts and some other shit. Revzilla has aftermarket parts, and of course the Triumph websites like puretriumph.com or Moto Machines. There's so many aftermarket parts because Bonneville Bobbers have been around for a while. Yeah, but it's a little bit too small. I like it though. But I wouldn't drive it myself. I like cruisers that are fucking huge. It's cute though. Go for it, man. Have fun. Have fun, but don't go crazy. And remember, everything on the road is trying to kill you, so you got to drive accordingly. Maybe it's time to move to China, then I don't have to deal with all these letters from Health Canada saying you can't import Botox. Yeah, we just get it straight from the source. I mean, I talked with Aaron, he moved back to China, and he said that some of the restrictions are a little bit less, so it's a little bit better to use shit locally. And then the fitness industry has really exploded the last couple of years. So it wouldn't be a bad place to live, you know? Die Hard is the best Christmas movie. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Die Hard 1 and 2. 3 is also fun, but it's not during Christmas. Or not really. Is it during Christmas? No, right? Only 1 and 2 is during Christmas. Yeah, Die Hard is a very good Christmas movie. Yeah. Life is dope. Welcome to the Vigorous crew. SLU-332 reportedly has very poor oral. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, it still works, though. It still works. There's no evidence in humans, so take it in MCT dosages and let us know, man. I took it at 250 micrograms, noticed the difference. I took 1,000 micrograms, and I noticed more of a difference. That's 1 milligram. And at 400 milligrams, you're like, holy fucking dog shit. Now, I've never injected it because I don't want to inject DMSO. And the guys that say that it has poor oral bioavailability, they have an agenda. They have an agenda. Buy my SLU-332 and DMSO, man. And there's a lot of horseshit out there. You don't have a science background, yet you're able to interpret scientific literature very well. Any advice for somebody starting from scratch? Just read a lot of studies and pass it through the filter of your experience, because experience in the end is more valuable than scientific evidence. Because scientific evidence only gets you so far. Like, scientific evidence is usually performed on animals or human subjects which are not like you. Right? I'm assuming that you're an athlete or you go to the gym, you eat a certain way, you live a certain way, and most of the scientific evidence is performed on gen pop. Losers. With medical diseases you don't suffer from, right? All the GLP-1 receptor agonists studied in people with diabetes or overweight or arthritis, blah, 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 blah. Medical shit we have no issues with. We have none of that. So you have to extrapolate. And that means some of the side effects that they experience, you're not going to experience because those side effects are related to their poor state of health. or people going blind on GLP-1s. And I get blind. I got bone mineral loss. Yeah, you went from 10 donuts, which gave you enough calcium and vitamin A and vitamin E for your eyes and your bones, to 2 donuts, and now you're deficient in micronutrients. Why don't you eat fucking healthy, you fat fuck piece of shit trash that ruins the planet? Right? We have enough of those people. You fucking erase them and nothing of value would be lost. Literally, they don't contribute anything. They could just fucking be eradicated and the world be a better place. The people that contribute are actually the people who make a difference. Right? And those people are usually not fucking obese pieces of shit that complain about everything. So you have to do the research as much as you can and pass it through your experience. For that, you gain knowledge. And then after 10 years of doing that, then you can make YouTube videos about it. Because you've done a lot of self-experimentation, you've coached other people, and you know how to piece it together. And that's not, you can't piece it together with the scientific evidence because polypharmacy is poorly investigated. It's barely reported. Maybe warfarin, or a couple blood thinners. Or blood pressure medications, they understand the interaction with other medications. But the polypharmacy that we here do in the fitness community or the bodybuilding community, or like Kurt likes to call it, the drug community, the drug abusing community, which he's very correct about, we take like 15 different compounds at the same time, and the polypharmacy is not available through the scientific evidence, so you have to piece it together by understanding basic human biology and experimentation. And then understanding, hey, okay, my IGF-1 levels went down. The only change that I made was high-dose SLU. It's probably high-dose SLU, but there's nothing in the scientific evidence that shows that because it's only been studied on humans. That's where animals. So that's where the experience comes from, through self-experimentation. It takes decades, man. It took me fucking decades. And now we're here. Randomly, last half year, my erythropoiesis has slowed down to such an extent I developed anemia. I started supplementing iron now. Any ideas why my red blood cell production slowed down and what to do? Bone marrow cancer? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe you started using a CPAP machine and now you don't have this compensatory effect of elevated red blood cell count. Maybe you're deficient in B vitamins, maybe in iron, right? You're supplementing with that and it might take a while to pick back up. Methylene blue can bring your red blood cell count down, so maybe something that you're supplementing or taking. Maybe you need to take that out or reduce the dose. It could be a million different things, man. It could be C19 lingering effects, mitochondrial dysfunction. I don't know. Do the blood work, run it through an expert, and piece it together because it could be a million different things. I would need to know what your cycle is, all the performance-enhancing drugs that you're taking, your food intake, your B vitamin intake, your iron intake, your vitamin K intake, maybe some organ imaging. So there's a lot of things to go over. But yeah, I hope I gave you some ideas. But yeah, there could be a lot of things going on. I don't know. I don't live in the U.S., so ask somebody in the U.S. I like it with these source questions, man. Is it safe? Is it safe? Start drilling in your fucking mouth. I don't know, dude. I'd take the risk, but I'm not sure if you want to take the risk. But I don't give a fuck. Hey, Steve, currently down 18 kilos since end of August. Read out Tesamorelin and Ipamorelin. Got a trip overseas to the United States in June. Anything else you would add? 30% body fat currently. Want to look good for my trip. June. No, just keep going. You're 18 kilos down, but you're not there yet. So it's working up until now. And you just keep doing the exact same thing. You know, maybe if your testosterone levels end up low, maybe add in a little bit of TRT. You go with TRT, Red, Tesamorelin, and Ipamorelin, and you just keep going the exact same thing. You're already down 18 kilos. Why would you want to change anything? You know, it's been working so far. You can throw the kitchen sink of recreational or not recreational fat burners on there to speed up the fat loss. But at 30% body fat, you're not stuck yet losing body fat. So why leverage drugs that you don't need yet? And it's going to take months anyway. So you have 6 more months to go. I would get your body fat levels down to 15%, and then you look good. 15%, you start to look good. Will you look exceptional? No. But if you're 30% now, you probably were, 50% before, 40% before? And then you might have some loose skin, so you don't want to lose that fat too fast, man. Maybe look at the GHK copper to prevent loose skin. 5 milligrams daily sub-Q. Cut finally coming to an end. About to start my gaining phase. Plan to mass for 46 weeks with 8-week mini cut at the end. Assuming I'm slowly ramping appropriately and blood work is in check. Second post. How much time before receptors downregulate? I'm not even going to answer. This question shows that you're a fucking retard. I hate to say it, bro. Receptors don't downregulate. I've done deep dives on shit. Are you fucking new here? The fuck is wrong with you? Receptors downregulate. Time off of TRT. Lower the dosages. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go watch the androgen receptor deep dive. And then ask me again. I'm not even going to give you a hint. But you got 1 foot in the door, but the door is closing on you, and your foot is getting cut off. Checking in with a quick update. I crashed the wedding party. I'm such a piece of shit. I just take the bride out, man, and shower a good time. Fuck, man. It's questions like this just piss me the fuck off. Receptors downregulate. Do you have any idea how fucking dumb you sound? Fuck, dude. Fuck. I can't believe this shit. You know, it's actually frustrating because I've done so much work to debunk this kind of nonsense. And I've been doing it for years, and these questions still come up. It's honestly disappointing, dude. Honestly. Every time I try raise my testosterone past 25 milligrams daily, I feel shortness of breath and tight chest. Hydrated, nutrition on point, electrolytes are good. Daily injection, subcutaneous testosterone enanthate, hematocrit 52%, estimated. Oh, estradiol, estradiol 76%, testosterone 1200. Yeah, maybe it's too much testosterone. Maybe your SHBG is low. You have a lot of free-flowing testosterone going around, giving you shortness of breath and tight chest. That's could be diagnosed as anxiety. Or it could be that the test that you're injecting is in synthetic carrier oil. I have deep dives on this, causing you inflammation, resulting in shortness of breath and tight chest. Like, it could also be a symptom of inflammation. So check your inflammatory markers: high sensitivity C-reactive protein, ferritin, lymphocyte to neutrophil ratio. If any of those are off, you're inflamed, and that could come from the synthetic carrier oil that you're injecting. So if you're injecting 0.1 milliliters per day, 0.7 milliliters per week, and anything over that, 0.812 milliliters per week, is increasing your inflammatory response, resulting in shortness of breath and tight chest, then you need to change the brand. If the inflammatory markers are in range, then it's not related to the carrier oil. You're absorbing and metabolizing that just fine. No inflammation is present. Then it's just the influx of androgens. And then maybe you need to add in growth hormone instead of testosterone to kind of facilitate anabolism through a different pathway. Or maybe you need a little bit of GABA, to relax you, minimizing your anxiety and thus lowering the potential for shortness of breath and tight chest, which is coming from anxiety. So multiple ways to address this, but these are the first steps I would look into. I know the common opinion is SLU doesn't affect sleep, but every time I take it past 3 to 4 p.m., I've noticed next night's sleep getting worse, doing about 100 milligrams per dosing, typically 2 to 3 times daily in the morning and noon. Okay, so if you notice that, then don't take it in the evening. You figured it out through experience. There's nothing in the scientific evidence or other people mentioning, like, I take it at 12 o'clock and I can sleep just fine. But I can always just sleep fine because I'm a very busy man and I'm dead tired at the end of the day. But if you notice that it keeps you awake, you just don't take it. It's that simple. You take 100 milligrams 3 times a day or 2 to 3 times a day, and the afternoon is your last serving so you can sleep, right? Sleep quality is important. So if you notice that already, do it. Do I have a test intolerance? Should I try Nandrolone instead? Doc put me on 200 and I can't tolerate it. I think I gave you enough ideas to pinpoint what's going on. Let's see. Welcome to the Vigorous crew. I'm taking 40 milligrams SLU daily. What should I dose MOTS-c and L-Carnitine? I think 1 milligram MOTS-c per day or half a milligram twice per day. Again, it seems to metabolize in about 4 hours. So you get that, energy boosting effect of MOTS-c, improved mitochondrial function and efficiency, and ATP synthesis, increased energy levels for about 4 to 5 hours, and then it seems to diminish. So I take half a milligram twice per day, and I might take 1 milligram twice per day on leg day, because that's a labor-intensive day. And L-Carnitine, I would take 500 milligrams twice per day as well. So it's 1 gram per day. Sub-Q, intramuscular doesn't really seem to matter. But I would take it around activity time. Because activity, muscular contractions, seems to help with carnitine absorption, just like insulin does. So you take your SLU, 20 milligrams, half a milligram MOTS-c, 500 milligrams L-Carnitine before fasted cardio and before your workout, and then enjoy the fat loss and the crazy energy, just like I have and do. Cheesecake Factory time. Thanks for all the information. Hell yeah, man. Cheesecake. I don't think I'm going to eat there again. I will eat the cheesecake, but I don't think I'm going to have Cheesecake Factory again. It's because last time I was there, dude, we shared 3 dishes. Put all the carbohydrates to the side, right? So you only eat the meat, basically. And dude, it didn't digest. It didn't digest for 8 hours or 6 hours. So we took cheesecake home, and then I had 3/4 of the cheesecake. My wife had a little bit, because her meal didn't digest either. And then a friend of mine went to Cheesecake Factory, and he said the same thing. And I remember the last time I was in the U.S., I ate at Cheesecake Factory, and it didn't digest also. It just sits in your stomach. Now, I could say that that's, in my case, erythritide, but my wife didn't take erythritide, and my buddy didn't take erythritide, and they didn't digest the food either. So if I want some cheesecake debauchery, I'll get the cheesecake, but not the food. Kind of over it. But yeah, cheesecake, $5. Yeah, man. It's half a cheesecake. I'll get it. Don't you worry. Thanks for the video, Steve. My pleasure. Sensei Steve, I'm familiar with your recommendations for HGH protocol, but what about HMG in conjunction? 3-year TRT, 1-year blast, 39 years old, wanting to make a baby, and the loads so sad. So you have, if you want a fertility protocol, besides watching the fertility deep dive, 2.5 hours, but I get it, it's a very long video. 1,000 IUs HCG 3 times per week, and then you add in HMG 75 IUs Monday or 3 times per week in between your HCG injections, but preferably every single day. Now, HMG is just urine purified follicle stimulating hormone with trace amounts of human chorionic gonadotropin in there, usually around 75 IUs. Now, the 1,000 IUs HCG that you take from your HCG is just going to make the HCG in trace amounts in the HMG feel negligible. So just by all means, keep taking the 1,000 IUs HCG and then whatever HCG you get from the HMG. But I feel that it's better to take recombinant FSH because it's 100% or 99.9% purity. Whereas with urine purified HMG, you get some trace peptides in there, and it just doesn't seem to stimulate fertility as much as recombinant FSH. So that will be my recommendation. Recombinant HCG, recombinant FSH. Yes, it's more expensive, but kids are expensive anyway. So you might as well go with the best option and get the best baby possible. All the people that I know that went with recombinant HCG and recombinant FSH, they got beautiful children. No complications, right? Oh, that's also with antioxidants, and they watched the video. And I probably put 100 people on the planet, with my contributions to people's fertility, right? At least 100. Or maybe 200, I'm not sure, right? I mean, you do the consultation, they get one baby, maybe 3 years later, they follow the same protocol, they get another baby, and then another one. So just because they don't talk to me doesn't mean I didn't contribute to protocol. And then with the video that I put out there that got a good amount of views for a lengthy video like that, I mean, how many people got pregnant just by watching the video and didn't tell me? So probably thousands of babies on the Vigorous protocol. And the Vigorous protocol is 1,000 IUs HCG recombinant, 3 times a week, and 75 IUs, FSH, recombinant, every single day. 75 IUs every single day. And everybody has beautiful babies, man. Let's see. What are the 3 gluteal sub-Q injections? What are the 3 gluteal sub-Q sites you use? Dorsal glute, ventral glute. I'm not sure what is what, but I just do it in the glute. And there's a lot of glute there. I can't find a third spot via Google. Just grab a spot and inject, man. Fuck. Go a little bit lower, go a little bit higher. You look for a red dot where you inject the last time, and you go an inch to the side. End of story. It's sub-Q, it doesn't matter. End of story. Blink Austin. You're the guy who talked about the androgen receptors, right? Finally going to be finishing my last term of registered nursing school while working my 4 12-hour shifts a week. And you don't know about the androgen receptor? Recommend a nootropic stack for productivity and energy. Mitochondrial stack helpful too. So if you're a last term registered nursing school, you're doing shift work, 12-hour shifts a week, I would take a long-acting nootropic. So that's bromantane dihexa. One of the paracetams is a pretty long half-life, but I'm not really sure which one it is. And then cycle through those, because you can't stay in dihex every single day. You can't stay in bromantane every single day, or phenylparacetam or another paracetam variant with a long half-life. So you just get a couple of those with long half-lives, cycle through those. You take them in the morning or whenever your shift starts, and then you should be good for 12 hours. And then mitochondrial stack should be helpful, but you need to dose those twice because, again, SS31, MOTS-c, methylene blue works for about 24 hours. I would just add in methylene blue, man, and not do any injections at work because it's just cumbersome. You need to be available the whole time. And since SS31 and MOTS-c and you know all this and SLU and all this mitochondrial stuff only works shortly, you need to double dip and double dose or quadruple dose over the day, and you probably don't have time for that. So I would just take methylene blue, cycle through the nootropics, and that's it. I started reading up about the androgen receptor because that question was, it was not good, bro. You should know that shit. Happy holidays to you. I just mouthed you off and you sent me $20. Yeah, lesson learned, bro. Favorite cheat meals: sushi and peach. I can eat a peach for hours. Why is MENT and SLU at the same level of Increlex? It's just a new compound that I was impressed about. And they all fulfill different purposes. So out of all the steroids, MENT is high on my list. Out of all the mitochondrial peptides and compounds, SLU is high on my list. Out of all the anabolic peptides like insulin, growth hormone secretagogues, Increlex is high on my list. Increlex is higher than insulin. So... yeah, I'm just impressed. You try a new compound, you're impressed. Or YK11, I was also impressed with. So I took it so much this year and last year. And then, other stuff like Deca, I was not really impressed with this year. I took 600 milligrams and I'm like, meh, joints still hurt, watery in the face, but not in the body. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to run 600 Deca again, man. I'll probably just run like 350 MENT. Fuck it. Maybe throw some Anadrol. Because after a while, the YK11 makes your joints feel really dry, man. Ugh. You're doing like overhead tricep extensions, right? And you're like... doesn't feel good. Time to cash in on a rookie ebook, Steve, with all the no research questions. Yeah. People, they don't read ebooks. They just want to come here and ask questions, man. I remember when I did the Q&A when I was in Holland, and my mom was like, why do people pay you money for videos that they can watch for free? I said, Mom, they're lazy. They'd rather ask me and get some sort of personal interaction and personalized advice than watch a 10-minute video. And they'd rather waste my time than their time. Hey, but Steve, don't you mean Greek? Yeah, that too. That too. If you know, you know. Wanted to share my fat loss stack, turning me into a furnace. Tirzepatide, retitrutide, 4 I use growth hormone, 2,025 milligrams ephedrine, 4 milligrams albuterol, 3 milligrams ribulsine, 400 milligrams SLU, 150 milligrams Mirabegron, 400 milligrams L-Carnitine, 2 milligrams MOTS-c, 10 milligrams SS3. Yeah, 10 milligrams SS3-1, okay. But what you're missing is Trenbolone. So bring the SS3-1 down to 1 to 2 milligrams per day. The rest I'm okay with. I've done that myself, this stack. And bring the albuterol down to injectable albuterol, 2 milligrams maximum, and then throw in 150 milligrams of Tren, and then let me know how you feel. I got these cheeseburgers, man. I got these cheeseburgers, man. Can't stop sweating. Dude, I was on a stack similar like this, and then you put your fucking CPAP on, right? And you go to bed, and I got fucking the air conditioning blasting 22 degrees Celsius or whatever that is in Fahrenheit, and then a fan at the foot end of my bed, and a body blanket that's like, or a body towel. Right? So it's like a beach towel, but twice the size, so you sleep underneath it, so the air is going through the body towel, cooling you down, and then you put the CPAP on, and then the first time you go to the bathroom, dude, the whole CPAP is soaked. Fuck. And the pillow is soaked, and the bed is soaked. So you take the CPAP off, get out of bed, you go to the bathroom, you take a piss, and then you come back, and then the CPAP is frozen, and the pillow is frozen, and the blanket is frozen. You go in bed, obviously, right? You have no low body fat, and you shave your whole body, so you have no hair, and you're sitting in bed like, fuck. And it takes like 10 minutes to warm up and fall asleep again. And then you go to the bathroom again, and you take the CPAP off, and it's all covered in sweat. You have to fucking wipe. Oh, it's so nasty. But hey, man, get you lean. Mandatory read for anybody who rides a motorcycle. Twist of the wrist. Twist of the wrist. Ah, okay. And there's 2 of them. Couple dollars on eBay. I'm sure I can find the PDF. All right. Twist of the wrist. Road Racer's Handbook. By Eddie Lawson and Wayne Rainey. 144 pages. All right. Bookmarked. I'll have a look. Thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate it. Always a good read. Sup, dude? Friend on prescribed Adderall had first SOB and then irregular heart rate. After high sodium night could have been sodium stimulant stressing her cardiovascular. She wants vigorous advice. I mean, it's a stimulant. It's an amphetamine. So if she gets irregular heart rate, then don't take it. Yeah, but I want to take the Adderall. No. If you get an adverse reaction from a drug, you take it out. I do. If I get a reaction I'm not happy with, that I can't control, and again, I could give her the ubiquinol and the taurine and the electrolyte and the daily fasted cardio and abstaining from simple sugars and following a ketogenic diet just to have a normal heart rate, and then the beta blockers later on. But maybe she has a heart condition, man, and the Adderall just brought it out of her. Take the drug out and maybe do some checks. Maybe take all the caffeine out. And she also drinks like 7 Monsters per day. You see my piano lessons? It's a lot of cocaine went up. Anyway, a lot of Adderall went up there. Yeah, so she has to see what the cause is besides the Adderall, maybe get diagnosed and lay off the Adderall until she figure out what the cause is. But don't fuck with your heart, man. Don't fuck with your heart. Or you don't fuck with her heart, so don't break it. Right? Women are fragile. And then they revenge call the police on you. I got the Adderall from him. He didn't get it on prescription. If I can't have him, nobody can. So I use bacteriostatic water that contains 100 micrograms zinc, 165 micrograms manganese, copper, selenium. Will this affect degradation? So you want to mix some sort of injectable micronutrients with your amino acids? I don't know how that would interact, man, but I would take bacteriostatic water with benzoyl alcohol, 0.9%. That's bacteriostatic water. This is some sort of injectable micronutrient formulation, some injectable multivitamin. So inject that separately. You could mix carnitine in there, which shouldn't degrade, but I would not mix my growth hormone or insulin or anything else in there. Bye. Bye. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Never gonna give you up. Do the savage lately. Shit's great. Tren is the bull hormone. AP is legit. Best raw supplier where? Website, bro. Hey, Steve, earlier said the GH from Chinese underground lab can be high quality potency, but HCG is usually low quality. What about Primo E? I found some on WWB, yeah, if you know, you know. Yeah, test it. That's the only way to know right now. Any kind of Primo, any kind of Masteron, even any kind of testosterone enanthate, it's all seemed to be in short supply. So order like a test batch, test it before you order a bulk batch. It's that simple. That's what I would do. Test it. Janoschek or some other third-party test. Lift weights, inject your gear, bang holes. Simplicity is key. Yeah, man, that's all you need to do in life. Bang holes, inject your gear, lift weights, get a couple hours of sleep in, and eat some food and make some money in between, and you know, and you'll be happy. Then you're happy. That's most of what I do. Okay, I do some bottle feeds and motorcycle riding, but most of the time I'm lifting weights, injecting gear, banging my wife's holes. You know, the ones that are allowed, and then I ride some motorcycles, and I spend time with my daughter and my cats. It's like 6 activities over the day. It's all I need, man. And I eat some food and go to the bed. Yeah, I'm a simple guy. That's all I need to be happy. No question this time. Just wishing you, your girls, and the family Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Ionic. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all of the live stream. I always appreciate it. Yeah, sorry for all the tremble on your rants, but sometimes you just got to put your foot down, bro. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. And may all your anabolic wishes of 2026 come true. What's the difference between oil Winstrol versus suspended Winstrol? Oils. Didn't I answer this last week, Benjamin? Didn't you ask me this last week or by email? Oil Winstrol has a slower absorption time and maybe less pip, but it can also cause inflammation if it's not suspended properly. They use glycol or polyethylene glycol, monoethylene glycol. If it's an MCT oil, it's fine. MCT, benzobenzoate, benzoalcohol, assuming it's not too much benzobenzoate, that can cause issues as well. Inflammation at the injection site, but not systemic inflammation. So oil-based Winstrol will absorb slower, more stable serum levels, less PIP, but potentially cause inflammation and no risk for infection. Whereas with Visceral suspension in water, risk for infection, more post-injection pain, higher serum levels, obviously, because it absorbs faster, and more readily available. Because not many people know how to make oil-based Visceral properly. What do you think are the best longevity therapies currently? What do you expect in the next 10 to 20 years? I'm honestly not really looking into longevity. I think the best therapy is just living a healthy lifestyle, as boring as it sounds. So if you don't abuse your body, you don't really need longevity therapy because you're doing longevity stuff every single day. Eating healthy, doing the daily fasted cardio, avoiding alcohol, avoiding smoking or recreational drugs that cause a lot of oxidative stress, keeping your stress levels low, sleeping a lot, or properly. All that stuff is longevity because you don't put so much stress on your body and you use it the correct way by going to the gym and doing some cardio and not poisoning your body with processed foods. So I think that's the best longevity. You can look into 10 milligrams epithalon for 10 days once a year or twice per year to lengthen your telomeres, keep your oxidative stress low, and then maybe look at the stem cells later on. IV stem cells, localized stem cells, whatever. But I'm not really an expert on that, man. I don't know. It's in this space we care about fat loss and anabolism and longevity. That's a different space, and I could diversify, but it's not really something that I'm too interested in because I think I do pretty okay just living a boring, healthy lifestyle, not abusing drugs. Even though some of you might think that I'm abusing drugs, I don't think that I'm abusing drugs based on all my health parameters, but I'm having a good time with it. And at the first sign of trouble, I pull the drugs out, which is what a lot of people don't do. They put more drugs in. They patch one hole with another one, and then, I'm going to be okay. We're going to use Tomasertin prophylactically. If you do daily fasted cardio, you manage your electrolytes, why would you need Tomasertin? Right? I think only empagliflozin has been shown to promote longevity outcomes, and that's again in general population who live like fucking assholes, who are fucking disgusting, have no aspirations, can't hold a diet, can't hold a job, can't hold a relationship. They're just statistics, and maybe for them it's longevity because they live like fucking retards, and then they need the drug for promoting longevity outcome. But if you're doing the opposite, you're doing the daily fasted cardio and you're putting in the work regarding your nutrition and low stress and good sleep and just contributing, having a fulfilling life instead of bitching about your boss or your own boss. And you just work when you want. And if I don't want to work for 6 months, I don't have to because I built my wealth already. If you're in that position, then I think you'll last a lot longer. In the empagliflozin, it's not going to make a difference. So, yeah, longevity is about what you don't do instead of what you do. The therapies are only there for people who abuse their body. Then it makes a difference. But if you don't abuse your body, then I don't think any longevity therapy, like what Brian Johnson is doing, he's overcompensating for being in a high-stress scenario, going through divorces or breakups, and just eating like a fucking asshole, and then shooting guns. I can't hear anymore, You shouldn't be shooting guns then at the shooting range to release stress. It's what about you don't do. Hey Steve, G here again. What would you recommend, MENT, acetate, or enanthate? Enanthate is normally higher concentration. If you do daily injections, it doesn't really matter, right? Of course, acetate, you get more trestolone compared to enanthate because the acetate ester is comprising less of the milligrams that you're injecting, but it's also less concentration, so you might have to inject more oil, which is not the end of the world, right? I mean, 150 milligrams of MENT is a good dose, an effective dose. I got great results from it. 3 cc's a week. And if you do 350 MENT, which a lot of people swear by, then it's 7 cc's per week, and you might get, what is the concentration of enanthate? 200 milligrams? I'm not sure. I haven't seen it on the source in a long time. Trestolone, enanthate. 200 200, 250, 300. Ah, that's pretty high concentration. Yeah, so that's a big difference. Okay, I should look for that next time. And I only have to inject 1.15 cc's. Yeah, or 1.4. That's a big difference from 7. I know, whatever you can find, man. Break the cost down, break the injection down, but either is fine if you inject every single day. I liked acetate. I had a good response. Thanks for answering my question. I've come down from about 39% body fat, no loose skin, only 24. I did low normal test levels. My last... Jesus Christ, man. This is like impossible to read. You had low normal test. Okay. So in your case, just keep dieting. Just keep dieting, doing the same thing. If you have low normal, you might want to look into TRT. As you diet longer, your body fat levels come down. You've been in a caloric deficit for a longer period of time. Your test levels might end up lower. So you might benefit from some TRT. So besides the appetite suppressants, maybe look into TRT and a little bit of growth hormone and then get that fat loss going. But you don't have to speed it up. I mean, you're already in a good position to just keep losing fat. And you give yourself another 6 months of time frame to lose more fat. And then later on, you can look into mitochondrial peptides. But I don't think that's the reason now. Maybe methylene blue is a starter. But you'll lose fat anyway. Steve, you should try Chili's or Texas Roadhouse. I think I've been to Texas Roadhouse. That was good. Chili's I haven't been to yet. But yeah, I should broaden my horizons besides Denny's and Cheesecake Factory. But I need American friends. Like with Chase and Paul, when we go to their old classic, I'm sure they'll be able to get some good restaurants together because you got your local tour guide. And then Paul's like, hey, we're not going to eat here. We're going to eat at a good place, you know? All right, guys, I'm 30 minutes behind, so what I'm going to do is pause the super chats. Where am I? And then answer what we have. Where is it? Okay, here. No more super chats. So I put that here and then put it in the banner. No excuses. I'm going to answer. I'm 30 minutes behind, so I'm going to answer what we have and then call it quits. Texas Roadhouse rolls with cinnamon butter. Don't know if I've had those, but that's yeah. I miss those IHOP pancakes, cinnamon pancakes. Oh man, diabetes. Agree with Hendy. If there's a Texas Roadhouse, go get the biggest, juiciest steaks they have. Will not be disappointed. Well, I'm a bit of a steak snob, and I go to El Garcho quite a bit, and that's some fucking good steak, man. And I've been to Kobe. I had Kobe beef in Kobe at the Intercontinental Hotel in Kobe, Japan. And after that, every steak has tasted not the same. So I kind of ruined myself. Steve, favorite lifting shoes? Metcons. I'm not sure what there are now, but I had Metcons, a couple different ones, and they were all good. Like nice flat sole, good support. So I've gone through like 4 or 5 different pairs. Sometimes I just buy the same pair like 3 times. Like I think which pair do I have? Metcon, Nike. Let's see. Metcon 9. Yeah, I've gone through like 3 pairs. Those I really like, the Metcon 9. I have size 11 and a half. Do they sell those in Thailand? I bought them in the US. I just bought like 2 pairs. And then I ordered some more. Because I train in Muscle Factory. That gym is worn. So you go through these shoes pretty fast. And then I also drive motorbike on them. And then sometimes it rains. So your whole shoe gets fucking soaked. So yeah, I definitely got to go do some shopping when I go to the United States. But yeah, Metcon 9s from Nike. I like those. And then I think I had Metcon 7 as well. But I don't think those are available anymore. Metcon, is there a Metcon 10? Oh. Oh, no. Oh, those don't look good at all. Those don't look good at all. Metcon 7. No, that was not the one that I had. 6. Eight? I can't remember. Anyway, Metcons are good. Yeah, Metcon 8 I used also. But I like 9 better than 8. 9 I really liked. I've gone through several pairs. Nursing school was a fucking snooze fest. I finished tests so fast people thought I was quitting the program. 60 questions, 10 minutes. Next. It's the same as the driver's license test here in Thailand. 50 questions, you got 1 hour, and it just go back, double check, okay, 50 out of 50, you pass. Like, how the fuck did you get 50 out of 50? So I took nootropics and I practiced the night before, right? Crash course style, just like in uni. Easy, man. It's all multiple choice. And then you go on the road and you realize you only have one choice. Get the fuck out of the way. You only have one choice. Car coming from the left, you get the fuck out of the way, bro. Texas Road, okay. In a cruise health phase, would it affect health going Bathmate protocol with DHT cream? So yeah, unfortunately, a cruise phase, that's no non-bioidentical hormones. But DHT is, of course, a bioidentical hormone. But then why would you do a Bathmate protocol with TB500, growth hormone, BPC157, Cialis? Also, how dumb would it be taking with finasteride? So if you take DHT directly, then the finasteride is useless. Because finasteride prevents the conversion of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, potentially preventing hair loss. But if you take DHT cream and you put it on your penis and then it goes systemic, you still get hair loss, which I wrote in the article. If you care about hair loss, don't do this protocol with DHT cream. So you're going to have to make a choice there. Do you want a big dick and good libido? Because the DHT cream, when it goes systemic, you do get horny. And that's what DHT does. And you might lose some hair. But hey, I'm bald. I still got laid. Even when I was single, I was bald. Shave it off when I was traveling. Still got laid, man. Benjamin, I'm sure you can get laid with a little bit less hair. I just got some bulk SLU powder, making capsules. What would be the best dosage? 100 milligrams. So you got to figure out which dose works best for you, too. It could be 100 milligrams, could be 50 milligrams, could be 20. So maybe make 20 milligram capsules, and then once you reach 400 milligrams, you can make 100 milligram capsules. All right, start low, build your way up. It's the answer to everything. Thoughts on M9-MEBC? Good for dopamine reset, but I've never used it, and I haven't really looked into the scientific evidence, so I don't know much about it. Sorry. I don't know. Just started up a cycle, pitting every other day. What's the soonest that I can get blood work and have an accurate reading of my total testosterone and estradiol to determine if I should make any changes? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Can't fix stupid, but you can lighten their wallet. Minus 69, the 69th rule of acquisition. Yeah. Yeah, a fool and their money will soon be departed. Is there anything to reverse Ozempic phase? Trying to get to 15% body fat or lower, but this red is making me look like I got the soul sucked out of me behind the local gas station for a $5 by Deanna. It's not necessarily a bad thing, man. Unless Deanna's a fucking crack addict. She's foaming at the mouth. She couldn't be a bad thing either. Yeah, so the weird thing is with Ozempic phase, I mean, I'm running Erythritide, right? It's also a GLP-1, but my face stays round now. Maybe it's a Deca still. So maybe you need some Deca, bro, or peanut butter before bed. You know, that helps to keep your face full. We discussed this earlier on. If you wait until the live stream is over and wait for the peanut butter. Jake said it. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter. So that might help. You just gotta force feed your way into it, bro. Just force that fucking peanut butter down. You fucking put the spoon and you twist it and you shove it down and you close your mouth. Not a single drop. The whole fucking spoon, accidentally, and then a whole fucking spoon of jelly down the hatch. Get that saliva going. But yeah, it's that's a side effect for some people. Me, I got my face fatter on GLP-1s, weirdly. And clomiphene only. Yeah, that's a great way to get banned, bro. Do you know your reach height ratio? As an MMA guy, I noticed your arm looked insanely long in Mark's Bill video. Cool look and useful. Yeah, it's just to keep people at bay, man. And when you're famous, everybody wants to get close, and then you're like, sorry, bro, my friend zone is full. No. Get away from here. I have no idea, man. I'm 175 centimeters, 5'9", and my arms are yay long. But I have no idea. The last time I got into a fight, it didn't end well for the other person. But that was high school. Yeah, I got into a lot of problems. Yeah. I know, I got other kinds of protection on me. That face one banned them for that dumbass. Yeah. Sometimes you have to, man. Learn the hard way. Gifted Vigorous Steve 1 membership. So I don't know what happens with this membership. Like, who gets the membership? Oh, Tina got it. Okay. Is that Tina that's at all the shows? How do you see that Tina got it? Oh, you're spending your salary well, Alvaro. But it's very generous, man. You're the first one who gifted a membership, and we've been doing this for years. Right? Liking is too much work. Gifting memberships is too much work. Asking with super chats, that's easy, dude. What are your thoughts on crypto heading down for 2026? I'm all out, man. I sold at the resistance at where did I hit? 94, and I need to see a clear break, a trend breakdown. But people talk about Santa Rally. It's Christmas next week. It's Saturday now. There might be a little pump tomorrow, but the liquidity is gone, man. It's all in the stock exchange or gold. Like, gold is almost at the all-time high again. You know? Gold's almost at the all-time high. Actually, it touched it. No, almost. So, finance is into the stock exchange right now, not in crypto. So, yeah, but it's too late to FOMO into there. So, my trading is done, man. I'm going to buy the dips and sell the recovery. So there's either a breakthrough through this downward trending resistance that we had since the peak of October 6th. Fuck, man, it's been 2.5 months. October, November, December, 2.5 months. So it either needs to break this trend line or it's going to dip down. I got a huge buy order at like 69.72 range. I might buy 50% back in as a wick. And then it comes up, let's see, what is possible? Let's say it comes down from 69. 69 is a nice number, man. Hey, 15%, 10%. Yeah. By February, January time. Anyway, we'll have to see. But I'm risk off. I'm risk off. I'll be risk on again when it bottoms around the utility price. So people say the 200-week moving average. Last time it dipped below that. People might say the 300 or 400-week moving average based on how far it dips. I said the utility price, so whatever the average Bitcoin mining price is at that time. What is the average Bitcoin mining cost worldwide? Because it's cheaper in some countries than other countries. This is stupid AI from Google. There's charts for this shit. I have to look into it. I have to look into the on-chain data. So let's say the average mining cost worldwide, or with countries with a lot of mining facilities, is like 50,000, and that's how low it's going to go. Maybe even a little bit lower, because miners have a lot of capital, obviously. That's why Bitcoin usually capitulates at the time that the halving occurs, because miners have to sell and buy more equipment. So why would you mine a Bitcoin when you can also buy it OTC? Right? So if the average cost is like 50,000 or 37,000, and then it dips to that price point, then the miners are going to step in and they won't let it drop any lower, because they can just buy Bitcoin at the cost that's lower than the mining cost. So whatever the average mining cost is, or the average of China and America and a couple of Scandinavian countries, then that's very likely that the price is going to drop down to there, and that's where my bag will be waiting. Yeah. And then we'll see what happens in the next cycle. Depends on duration, dose per week. Personally, I like mint Ace, but anything into cannabis were fun as well. Okay, yeah. Too many bodybuilders with umbilical hernias. I recently got one and about to do surgical repair. Any advice on recovery protocol? That's linked in most of the previous Vigorous Q&A. So that's TB500, BBC 157, JSK copper, GH, collagen peptides, Anavar, TRT, and maybe silica. And that also helps with collagen synthesis. And just good amount of rest. If the doctor says no training for 6 weeks, then that's what you're going to do, man. Take it easy, because we can easily tear ourselves apart, and then you need to do surgery again, or it gets worse. But it's the gyno videos and many of the old Vigorous Q&As has an entire healing and recovery protocol. It's right there in the video description. What food restaurant or food do you crave when in the United States? Yeah, I like diners. I'm tacky. I'm not classy. Like here in Thailand, dude, we got steak restaurants, very good. I've been to some steak restaurants in America, and I'm going to say my favorite ones in Thailand are better. For the price and the quality that you get, steak's better, man. I went to Barry's. I went to... I've been to like 7 steak restaurants in Vegas and a couple other cities. And besides Bavette's that I went to with Chase Irons, that's probably the best steak and hamburger that I had in Thailand, United States. But hey, that's because Chase knows fine dining. He knows where to go and eat properly. He's a foodie just like me. He needs to be on Reddit for life. Otherwise, he's a fat piece of shit, just like I am. We were both fat pieces of shit internally, but with Reddit, we can be shredded. But we still like to eat at nice luxury places and dress up and look the part. So Chase took me to Bavette's. That was a life-changing experience. It was like a top 3 hamburger of my life, and very, very, very good steak. But we also have that in Thailand. So what we don't have is good diners until Cheesecake Factory showed up. So I like to go to the diner. I like to go to IHOP and Cheesecake Factory and what is that place called? A Peppermill and Wendy's. And yeah, that's all I like. You just sit there and just wow. And what do you want to have? So some Southern lady. So yeah, I'll have some cornbread and some this and that. You know, you get some good food. So yeah, it's I like the greasy stuff, and yeah, that's why I usually come obese. All right, 15 more minutes, and then we're gonna throw in the towel. This post-layoff, post-surgeries after 12 weeks. Yeah, okay, so you take the entire protocol that I laid out in the gynecomastia video for 12 weeks. and then you finish what you have. Is oregano oil a good add-on for health supplements? So yeah, oregano oil before bed. Can't take it on a fasted stomach because it will burn a hole in your asshole the next day. So take it with a meal. It's very potent, very strong. It prevents candida overgrowth. So if you suspect that you have candida, you can do that with a stool examination. Candida levels are high, then oregano oil is a very good way to bring that down. 181 milligrams are the capsules, I think, that I listed in the year-round supplement stack. And then you bring that down, and that should reduce bloating as well. But if you don't have candida or candida overgrowth, then oregano oil is not going to do anything. So you need to determine if you have candida overgrowth and then take the oregano oil to solve that. Not take oregano oil in an attempt to promote health when there's no things to be solved. Opinion on DMT. Never tried it. I've tried salvia. That was fun or interesting. But DMT, never tried it. So maybe at one point. I will do the 3 tokes, though, and break through. No fucking around. Show me the fucking aliens. Show me the fucking aliens, you know? Call the ambulance, but not for me. There you go. There's I used to shop at like some hip hop store back in the day, you know, because I like the baggy pants. And there was a lot of theft. Kind of people that shop at the hip hop store, right? With the hip hop clothing, you know, certain kind of people, street thugs. So they would put in the where you change your clothes, right? The dress area where you can just try it on. Said in case of theft, we call the ambulance first and then the police. Haven't had a theft since. Those guys would be fucking huge, man. Like big fucking 2-meter basketball players. Probably run after you in 3 steps and then smack you around. It's not about longevity. It's about girth, bro. Yeah, girth solves a lot of problems until it causes problems. And then once you say too beaucoup, then you gotta stop the pumping. I was hoping the membership went to a responsible person that wouldn't abuse the power of being in the Vigorous crew. Tina is responsible. She's like one of the good girls, man. What are you doing? Tina is good. If it's the Tina that I know, that I met at Swiss Symposium and Mr. Olympia and stuff. I don't see her in the chat here though. Huh. Oh, it is what it is. But hey, man, you're more generous than anybody else, man. Nobody's ever gifted a membership. 70-40K, my buzz. Yeah, I mean, round numbers are good, but technical analysis and you know, you can always buy the recovery, man. You just let it dump, and then when it breaks through the dumpage, then it's more likely to at least pump a little bit. And then it might dump again, but you could sell at the pump. 40K is the mining cost? Yeah, so that will be my fat entry. I would have to look into it. And, of course, the mining costs will change as time goes on. Super chat. I thought I told you guys no more super chats. Thoughts on ACD 856? No, never heard of those. But I've been slacking on the research, so my bad. Hey man, Merry Christmas in advance. Anything special plans for the kiddos' first Christmas, starting at a college fund and forget the toys? Well, she's got a Bitcoin to her name, so she's set for life. She can buy a house right off the bat when she wants to. Wednesday, I'm going out with the neighbors, and we're going to have like a Christmas barbecue in the front yard. Thought it should be good. So they got the beef, and I'll bring some wine and some more beef and some some coleslaw and maybe shrimp salad, yeah, or potato salad. Yeah, maybe some vodka and potato salad. That's get my Ukrainian. Maybe some borscht. Is that Russian? Borscht. Borscht dish. Sour soup made with meat, stock, vegetables, and seasoning. Fuck, man. Yeah, it's Ukrainian, right? Yeah. Yeah, maybe I should bring some borscht over. It's been a while. It's like, what the fuck is this? I said, this is fucking culture food, bro. It's got delivered with drones. GLP Armageddon. Yeah, the party is over, man. Until somebody picks up the slack. I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised that the raw drought is going on for over a year now. Like, I thought people would pick up the slack and Primo Mastron, and I've heard some rumblings that it might become available, but hey, if it's not available yet, then I'm not going to get my hopes up. So it might be the same for peptides. So as always, I stocked up, and as should you. And you either do it at Modern Aminos or Anabolic Pharmacist or Omega Aminos or Science Bio. Use my code Vigorous. Modern Aminos will have a sale until the end of the year, and then they're gone forever, or until they decide to come back and take the risk, or the risk is gone. And the other guys are still stocking it, man. I mean, Anabolic Pharmacist got some good prices and bulk orders, and Omega Aminos as well. So once Modern Aminos throws in the towel, then you should be able to get it elsewhere until they throw in the towel. And then once other people throw in the towel, then they'll figure out a way to get it to you. So don't worry about it too much. It's not a manufacturing issue. It's a delivery and distribution issue. But manufacturing, once it dries up, it's more of an issue than a distribution issue because, no, steroids are also a distribution issue, and steroids are everywhere, bro. I haven't heard of ACD 856, but have you heard of ACDC? Great music. Thunder. Thunder. Man, have you seen them play live recently? Fuck. Starlight Diner. Is there a Starlight Diner in Ohio? Or is this a strip club? Sounds like a fucking strip club. Oh, no, it's not a strip club. There is a Starlight Diner in Hilliard, Ohio. How far is that from? Or is that the Starlight Diner? This is Starliner Diner. Starlight. Sounds like a strip club, man. Stardust Diner? What? Dude, send me the location. I can't find it on the Google. Ellen Stardust Diner. Starlight Diner. Here we go. No, that's also nothing. Are you sure? Are you sure it's called the Starlight Diner? Or you're giving me something that it's going way over my head. What's your plan when Reddit stops working? Switch to tirzepatide. Like, I am not getting the appetite suppression I want from 7 milligrams Reddit per week, so I'm switching to tirzepatide. And now I'm full as fuck. Yeah, switching to tirzepatide. Tina's trouble. Watch out for her. She's like 5'1" or something, and a tiny sweetheart. She's one of the nicest women that I met at these expos, man. And we're talking about the same Tina. All right, I think that's pretty much it. When tirzepatide stops working, there you go. We're right back to Reddit. I'll be on this shit for life, man. It's the only character flaw I have. I can't control my appetite. And if I do, then I'm a moody fucking piece of shit. And that's something I can't afford. Not with a business. And I mean, I was pretty moody today. That's a lingering trend, bro. And some of the questions will... I'm fucking angry. So yeah, it's either forcefully controlling my appetite with hardcore discipline and then ruining my mood, which means I'm irritable and snappy, and that's something I can't afford at this time. I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have a business to run, so I take the drug, and then I'm in much better mood. I'm not snappy, I'm not irritable, maybe a little bit on Tren, but not as bad as I used to be, and my appetite is controlled. So I do take drugs and shut the fuck up, and if that makes me less of a man, less blue-collar, then so be it. I'm still married, happily, and making money, happily. So, you know, it's my excuse to take it. So yeah, maybe you switch from tirzepatide to retatrutide and vice versa, and then you always get some sort of appetite suppression. And then you, in the off-season, you lower the dose, take away the food noise. I don't know what ORG is, and asking more often is not gonna make me know any better. Here's another one. Is another one? Don't make me fucking ban you, bro. All right, guys, this is the end of the line. I gotta wake up early tomorrow, and then you know, time my peak for Avatar Fire and Ass properly. All right, guys, we'll see you next weekend. That will be the last Vigorous Q&A of the year. The last Vigorous Q&A of 2025, and then we'll just keep going in 2026 as usual. All right, guys, peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your cheesecake. I won't have any, but I'll have some popcorn from Garrett instead. Get your popcorn out. It's the end of the line.